Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel, I hope you're well. We are up in Canada once again, and we've wound the time a little bit forwards just so that we can see a little bit of this new scenery from fsimstudios. Lovely Winnipeg Airport, right in the middle of Canada in fact, and covered in snow, but quite nicely done as well. Very impressive bit of scenery so far from what I've been able to see to begin with. David, good morning to you. No worries at all, buddy. Gav, good evening to you as well. Delta Tango, welcome. Got a cold, hope you feel better soon. Ian, g'day to you as well. Loving the intro, or the pre-stream trailer. David, good afternoon as well, saying that World Flight took off from here a little earlier on today. A few hours ago. Super early in the morning for them for a departure out of Winnipeg then, isn't it? Hope you're well. Badger, good afternoon as well. Rab, living on a player. Carlito, hello buddy. And everybody else, wherever you are in the world. It's great to have you on board with us here today for our Horizon Simulations Boeing 787-9er flight all the way across to the new Jacksonville airport scenery created by Fly Too High. Is it Fly Too or is it Fly Too High? I can never remember. And that's available via any builds. Both of the sceneries for that we're going to be taking a look at today are in the live stream description for today as well. Let's wind the time forwards a bit so that we can see the airport a little bit better. If you're new to the channel, it's great to have you on board with us. Make sure you hit like and subscribe as well, and naturally press that notification bell so you don't miss any streams or any other content that we put out there in the world of YouTube. Today's block is about 3 hours 30, gate to gate, and we've got a little bit of snow here at Winnipeg, as we can see. Little bits of snow falling, in fact, on my screen too, which is quite exciting. First bit of snow for the year in the sim. A couple of statics, just kind of plotted around the airport in fairly nondescript locations that aren't particularly in the way, but a beautiful backdrop. Look, if we just rise up with the drone camera, look at that for a backdrop. What's really nice to see is the developer has taken a little bit of time here. fsimstudios make a lot of Canadian scenery. They've made some good effort here, excluding the snow from the apron areas, which is a real pet peeve of mine, and a lot of other people too, to be fair. Because in reality, of course, the airport operators would be maintaining as much clear apron as possible, wouldn't they, for the airport? So, the Royal Aviation Museum of Canada is here. It's a very basic looking building, like most of them around the airport footprint, with a couple of statics. The business end, of course, the terminal, is just here, so we'll have a little look. I've not really explored this too much. Fly High, hello to you. Welcome to the chat. The developer of Jacksonville, our destination airport for today. I don't think that's got an interior, does it, this one? We'll have a little look. I don't think it does. Oh. I do like a tower interior. I think if developers are going to do any interior, it's nice to have a tower. And also the radar thing up there, I think should be spinning. That's the only two things that I can see so far that are desirable features. Not important though, really, are they? 4-point Sheraton Hotel with those cool parallax windows that move around. It's just a picture, but it kind of moves around and makes it look like it's 3D. From the outside looking in, quite smart. I mean, it's a fairly nondescript airport, to be fair, Winnipeg. I haven't checked the METAR, but I'm assuming it's exceptionally cold here at this time of year in real life. This is the terminal area. Again, I've not really explored it or gone in too much. I've just been pootling around outside with the drone camera, but I've not actually checked out any interiors. I don't think it does have any. Canadian Flight Simmer, good morning. Doesn't look like there is any, does there? It will, does it? By the way, if I miss or muddle up words today, that's because I've had 3 hours sleep from night shifts. And I'm now onto my days off finally. So my brain's a little bit foggy, like it usually is after night shifts. Those of you who watch regular know it usually ends up with something going wrong on a stream or an element of chaos somewhere. But I'm going to try my best to keep it smooth and accurate today. Right, what do we got here? A little glimpse of our Osprey Holidays livery there on the 787, painted by our good friend Demo Designs. And the Departures Lounge has an interior. Here we go, look at this. It's nice. The business end of the airport where we're going to spend most of the time taxiing to and from the gates. This is the bit that we're going to see the most, and it's obvious fsimstudios have decided to focus on that a little bit. What would be amazing is if that was live weather. Imagine if that was the actual real forecast getting fed in. That'd be mind-blowing. That could be a flight sim first. That doesn't do that though. It was just more of a hypothetical what if that would be really great kind of feature. Big old bear. Stay with that. That's fantastic. How funny. Oh wow. Canadian history for dummies. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004 for dummies. Self-determination for Alberta. No other option. What have we got in the news? When developers do this kind of thing, I do find it quite humorous. Haynes repair manual for crazy drivers who like to tinker with their own vehicles. They're the only books, I think. What do we got here on this side? Same again, from the ground up. I like it. That's a good little bit of effort there. Coffee shop on the left hand side, Rocky Mountain chocolate. And just before you get on your flight, you can grab one of those neck tubes. Matthew, good morning. Alberto, hello buddy. How are you doing? Big old departures board for arrivals and departures, but too blurry for us to kind of read. You can make out roughly what they're supposed to say, although it does require you to strain your eyes a little bit, doesn't it? But that is the terminal building, effectively. Quite nice though. Mike, hello buddy. Very good, thank you. Delta, well yeah, it's spelt that way, but I just wrote it out so that it's easier for people to know which one it is. That's all. We'll go through all that shortly. Tim Hortons with their rather good coffee and drinks there. Little Air Canada -8. If I wind the time back to real time now, so it goes to night, we will be able to see what all the textures are like at night time. There's our big old nav lights, lovely. It's all round quite a nice designed terminal building, and same with the backdrop. Looking at the hotel there, the 4 Points by Sheraton, those hotels look pretty good. Zato, thanks buddy, been with us for a year. Living on a player? Not at all. Although you'd probably have to ask a Canadian. To me, I don't think I've had a Tim Hortons. Ooh, it's the first time I've seen the Commonwealth.
Boarding requested.
Livery rendered in as AI. Look at that. That's our special edition Osprey Airways Commonwealth Tour livery, with loads of influence from around the world. Different textures based on different tribes and different nations, from African themes to Aboriginal themes, all the way across the world. And what Demo Designs, who painted this, has done is he's actually put the flags in of every single location that we fly to on our special Commonwealth tour, from start to finish, all the way across both sides of the aircraft. It's a beautiful livery. Hello Christopher, welcome. But here we are in the 787 -9 Horizon Simulations. General Electric GENX powered. Osprey Holidays twin aisle jets.
Do you want to board crew?
Ow, go away. No, I don't. I am the crew.
Passenger
But look at that tail. How impressive is that? It's a beautiful livery, this. Blue, welcome, buddy. Gotta try and change this drone camera setting. That'll be a bit more like it, I think. What's also different with this is we've got a slight black mask on the window there. A little bit Air Canada-esque, but it's a little bit A350-esque as well, so it's a pretty special little livery, that. So the ground crew are going to get the aircraft all loaded up. I think I'll leave it on live time as well. What do you guys think? We rarely do live time departures when it's dark, don't we? So I think that would be quite interesting. So we'll dive into that too. We're expecting runway 18 today for our departure. The Grizzly 2 departure out of Winnipeg. Let's dive into the flight deck. Booty. Unfortunately not, Christopher, no. So we've got performance and doors. Yeah, entry 4 right doesn't work, and aft and all that don't work either. Just entry 1 right, forward cargo, and entry 1 left. And then we've got performance calculations as well, which we can take in from the aircraft. What I've done effectively so far, we haven't started cold and dark. We've got the QNH, or the altimeter 29905 inches of mercury. We've gone into settings with our SimBrief integration here with the Horizon Sim aircraft, and I've loaded in our weight and balance. So you can see there, that's our fuel loading, nearly 20,000 kilos, zero fuel weight of 157.7 tons. With 9.1 tons of cargo and 233 punters. So adding a load of crew, we're looking at 242 souls on board, roughly. And we're only 42% full with fuel and everything. Because obviously this can fly for hours and hours, and we're just doing a very simple hop for 2 and a bit hours with this, which is like eating a biscuit for a Dreamliner. Dead easy. We've then gone into the POS page, and I've aligned the IRS with the 2 things at the top on the overhead panel. Up there, left and right on for the IRS. Put all the windshield heating and stuff on as well, and we've aligned all of that and got all that configured. And then in here I've pressed route request and I've pulled in our routing for today. So initially the route, those of you on our Discord server, you'll see that we've got the route selected with direct to the Winnipeg VOR, and then onwards to Bravo Alpha Echo, Oscar Bravo Kilo, so on and so forth. But we're doing a Grizzly 2 departure today with runway 18. So if I bring the charts up, that's the Grizzly 2. So initially here on the apron, we're going to push start facing eastbound. Runway 18 is all the way up there, so we're going to head up Lima, Kilo, Tango to hold point there, using the full length of the 3,353 metre long runway. The airport elevation is 784 there, so it's not low, it's not high altitude, but it's not low altitude either, if that makes sense, kind of like in the middle ground. There's a warning of taxiway Alpha, which is that one there, which we're not using today, saying not available to aircraft over certain weights, except for 75s and 767s. And taxiway Echo and Whiskey, simultaneous use by aircraft with wingspan 171 or greater not authorised. And there's a typo on a Jefferson chart. Ooh. Wonder if that'll get me a free pilot's licence. After takeoff anyway, runway heading 185. There's the Winnipeg VOR as well, look. VOR. We're going to head south, following runway heading very briefly to 3.5 DME Yankee Whiskey Golf, and that's on a frequency of 1155. From there heading 172 degrees into vectors from the departure. And the initial climb down the bottom here, runway 18, climb heading 185 to 3.5 Winnipeg. Then a climbing left turn heading 172 for vectors to assigned route. And climb to and maintain 4,000 for the altitude limits. So that's going to kind of make us do that on the Grizzly 2. Now, if we go back to the Yankee Whiskey Golf VOR, what's going to happen there is the aircraft, if we go LNAV, the aeroplane is going to want to go back to Yankee Whiskey Golf potentially to then continue on our route. Some aeroplanes would try that, some wouldn't in the sim. So what we're going to do is vector ourselves eastbound. Oh yeah, we're going to push start facing west in fact, just to correct myself earlier. But we're going to head eastbound to intercept that LNAV line. And then we'll resume our track all the way to, where is it? Joffinek. That the waypoint? CFHBZ. It must be. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to go that way. All the way to DLH, into the airspace of the United States as well from CFHBZ. Routing all the way down to Bay on that big Juliet 89 airway. So if we go to the, turn that off, go to high IFR routing. You can see there Juliet 89 airway, and it's going to take us all the way along like so. So if we quickly have a look at the legs, we can see CFBH, Weeds, DLH, Gosh, Bay, so on and so forth, and that looks pretty good. We've got 5 pages. We need to go departures, runway 18, Grizzly 2, execute. And you've got that departures there, followed by vectors to Yankee Whiskey Golf. So we know from vectors actually we're going to go direct to CFHBZ most likely, or we'll vector ourselves to the LNAV line so that we can continue on our magenta track quite neatly without having to scupper the direct to too much, i.e. we'll get onto that Juliet 89 airway nice and smoothly. Let's request the winds. By the way, yesterday, for those of you who weren't following the PMDG forums, I suggest you do if you don't, because it's full of information. PMDG have updated the Universal Flight Tablet. VNAV, time forecast, load, climb, next, forecast, load, wicked. So loading all of our winds into the descent. What's the departure altitude? There you go, transition 18,000 here in Canada as well, lovely job. So we need to do our performance data now, and thankfully in init our cruise today's flight level 410 for information, but you can just press it and select it like so. If we look at New Sky now, it does blue. All of the 737s have got Universal Flight Tablet from PMDG. Those of you who haven't used it yet and you want to work out how it works, head to our YouTube channel. Last week I did a tutorial video just to show you some of its basic features. Where is it? Block. Am I being really dumb? Oh, there it is. FinRes plus alternate 4.9. So we'll pop that in there for our reserves. Cost index is on the OFP. It says 15 there. We might speed it up when we get to cruise. We'll see what our cruise is going to be. Oh, nice. Mach 8.4. Woo! Zooming along. Love it. Okay, let's carry on. So, Airport search. Oh, where is it? Copy FMC data. That's what we want. Condition. I'm going to grab the METAR command in the live chat. CYWG, and we'll have a look to see what it says. Good morning, Automator. Been with us for a whopping 20 months. Thank you for all of your support there, buddy. Hope you're well. Winnipeg METAR at 1200 Zulu, winds 140 at 11. 15 statute miles visibility. Overcast at 1400, 1400 feet. Above ground level, -0 for the temperature and -3 for the dew point. Altimeter 29995. Scattered 8 octaves, stratus associated. Cool, nothing significant. So we can pop into some of the data there. What have we got? 140 at 11. Outside air temperature 0. 29905. So that's automatically snapped across, which is pretty good. What I'll do is I'll select good, because there's no ice, it looks like, on the runway. Thrust rating optimum, flap config optimum, anti-ice, engine auto, and we will calculate. There we go. So, takeoff profile 2, cell temp 59. There's our V speeds there. Flap 5. Was it 59? So we'll use their performance calculator for today. Climb 2, takeoff 2, 81.4 for the D rate. DTO 2. Yeah. And climb 2 is armed. Pre-flights, takeoff ref page 5. Center of gravity, we can just click that. Pre-flight complete, and we pop our V-speeds in. 137 for rotate, 147. So up here we'll set 147. Done. Yeah, send to FMC, that's a good point. You could just press that, send output. Bosh. So then it will just pre-populate all of this. Takeoff data ready to accept or reject on takeoff reference page. So that's updated it all there for us, as Flops Aviator has said, and then we can press accept there. It's a good point. We've not used that feature actually yet, so now we have. Thank you. I could leave engine off. Acceleration height of 1800, but I'm trying to look on the charts. I can't see anything on the charts about noise abatement unless I'm really missing it. Destruction activities, blah blah blah, takeoff minimums. Refer to 10.4a, noise abatement procedures for additional requirements. Ah, found them in the ref page. Oh, NADP 1 or 2 it says for runway 18. Alright, well, I'll change it to 1,000 foot above ground level because that's easier. So I'll just amend those. Which I always get them confused. Is that NADP 2? I think it is. My brain's not fired up for it today. Okay, APU. So, we'll pop the seatbelt signs on, strap the punters in. APU is start. Fault light goes on, fault light goes off. Release the starter. APU is now automatically opened up the aft left pump to feed the fuel. Have an open wing. Runway strobes, that's all good. We can pop the packs on automatic because that's easier to just do that now. Thanks, Doc. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's what we've programmed. Good evening to you. I was going to say good morning, but not yet for you. There's the woofer. First Officer Loki saying hello. Okay, let's pause the music then, because we've got some cool sounds. By the way, because I'm going to be asked at some point, we've got the custom Horizon Simulations' own custom sounds in General Electric GENX variant, and that's what we're using today. We're not using FT Sim Plus. We're using Horizon Simulations' own one, which is actually created by Heavy Division, I believe. We've got checklist as well, so we can tick those off. V2 heading, track and altitude all set as required. That's on automatic. Takeoff speed set, cross-checked, and CDU pre-flight complete. Takeoff briefing complete. But what we can do is just press checklist override, normal, goes to the next one. We can just smash through all of these, because otherwise we're going to get really annoying checklists kicking off, telling us that we've forgotten things on short final, which we don't want. Nav display. Lovely jubbly. Master caution. That's all fine. Entry 1 left is still open apparently. So let's prepare for pushback. See if it goes. Good morning, Copper in Phoenix. Push departure. Yes. Do you want the de-icing treatment? Probably why. Does Winnipeg have a de-icer stand on the apron? I don't think it does it? Or maybe whiskey actually. That big bit there is a de-icer bay perhaps. De-icing ops. Oh yeah. Bay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We'll do it at the gate. It's just easier. And I'm also curious to see what they do with this aircraft, because they I don't think we've used de-icer in this yet. External power state change. New Sky is tracking the flight.
Confirm aircraft is ready for treatment.
Isolate the packs.
We begin treatment now and observe. Fluid type 1. Concentration at 50%. I will call you back when ready.
Jeez. Here we go. Oh yeah. I don't know why, it's funny, but it is. Very good. Squirting all over my wing. Big old wing surface to worry about. It's winter ops now, isn't it, really? So, especially in Europe too, we're going into these kind of de-icer months where on VATSIM, if you've got a GSX profile and de-icer bays in place, you'll be able to actually get to a de-icer bay and request it, which is quite neat. How do you calculate the Excel heights, Sella says? So NADP 1 or 2 departures, you go via the charts, whatever the charts say basically. What have we got here? Oh, hello Dave. Oh, freaky. We got, is it that one? No. looks like they're done. We've got live time on. We have. Fantastic. Perfect, beautiful sunset. Okay, let's get the beacon light on, just so that we are ready. Dock, it's all visual. Pumps on.
De-icing and anti-icing completed.
Center tanks are empty.
Code is fluid type 1. Concentration at 50%. I'm disconnected.
AP gens
Good day.
are on. That's all good. We'll leave the packs off for now. Yeah, engine anti-ice is on now. That's odd. I didn't expect to see it on. Don't remember turning it on. Put it on automatic. Beacon lights, that's all good. That's all set. So, Winnipeg traffic, Osprey 165 heavy is push and start. From stand 6, I think. Yeah, that'll do. Winnipeg traffic.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
I'm not sure, Zato, to be fair. Yes, Dawn. I always get them confused as well. APU visuals there, look, blurring out
Hello,
the tail.
Captain. We are ready for pushback.
We've got the GENX engine sounds, which are beautiful. You need premium deluxe edition for this aircraft, Alexis, yeah. Not just deluxe edition, premium deluxe. Let's see, yeah, that'll do. We'll drop that in like so. I thought I was on Unicom. 1228.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Definitely on Unicom. And in my vPilot client says I'm on Unicom too. So a lot of people say about the takeoff issue with the nose trim, you've got to make sure it's set to that little magenta number there, 3.0. So after we've started the engines, we need to push with the trim forwards. There's no trim wheel here. What it is one of these rocker switches there on the yoke. So set a keybind for that to help, and you can then watch that little arrow move up into the green zone, and you want it to match 3. So 3 magenta, and then the big numbers matching the same, and rudder trim set to neutral. Flight directors should go on. Water brake RTO. And now we have rain. Standard straight pushback. So I've got a custom... What? I've got a custom GSX profile for this, but it looks like it's designed for this scenery. It looks like some absolute clown has created it. Let's just see what happens. We'll click that. God knows what's going to happen here. I'm sure it'll be entertaining.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Winnipeg traffic, western 5423 at the stand, pushing back facing west.
Left and right engines to start, fuel control levers to run. Here we go. You hear that? Turn it up for you. Crap GSX profile. How good is that sound?
Please set parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Dan Vosa, when I turn on the battery's external power, the screens go black. Well, have you got APU on? Or are you turning the external power off and reverting to battery? Because They might flicker if they're snapping from one bus to the next. If that makes sense. So, flaps 5. Victor says, with the 789 he finds it easier to pull back on takeoff at V2 rather than rotate. So,
Winnipeg traffic, Osprey 784 taxiing to holding point for runway 13 via
really
Lima,
kind of
Kilo,
show you
Foxtrot,
guys
Papa.
because the lights.
Winnipeg traffic.
Where's the dome light?
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Right, so there's the yoke, yeah? When I get to V1, I'm already ready to pull back. And at V2, I'll kind of like check it back a little bit like that. A little back pressure. This is exaggerated, of course. But I'll pull it back a little bit just to kind of get the wheel off and command the pitch up. And then just as it's lifting, I'll then ease the stick forward slightly just to smooth out the rotation. And that seems to be a technique that works nicely with this for me. Warnings for cabin temperature and TCAS off. So packs on, seatbelt signs. Let's get rid of that because it's dark. We need the ambient lights. Okay. Control checks. Oh, Dan, that sounds like you've got a bigger issue. Not just the problem with the aircraft. Oh, we're going to follow that Osprey there. Oh no. Put the wing lights on as well. It looks like he's waiting for us, so. Winnipeg traffic, Osprey 165 Heavy is taxiing to the hold point, runways 18 via Lima, Kilo, Foxtrot and Tango, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg traffic, watch the 5423 heavy taxiing 18 via Whiskey, Tango, holding short 18.
And Winnipeg traffic, Osprey 2472 is pushing back from stand 8 after the company traffic passes from right to left, and we'll be facing to the west. Winnipeg traffic.
So, stab trim. I'm going to press my keybind, look, there goes the number. Moving up, now it's green, so it's within the takeoff range. Three is what's recommended, so that's set. Just turn those down a tad. Crikey, Andrew, long old journey. How was your trip? Hope it was well. Where is it? Air. 24, 24, 24. Cabin temperature warning still there. Right, so we want heading mode and VNAV. Auto thrust. APU off.
Winnipeg traffic, Osprey 784 crossing runway 18.
Yeah, Victor, that's not good. It's frustrating, isn't it, when that kind of thing happens, to be fair. So steering wide to keep the main wheels over the centre line. Ooh, look at that. Absolute fire from that sunrise. Oh. That's incredible. Let's actually have a look to see what that looks like from the outside towards the terminal then. It's burning through, there it is, look, it's burning through that cloud. It's probably a little bit over the top with the way it was showing up a moment ago, but still quite impressive. Was that the world updates, Kevin? Asking, does that update come today? I'm not sure, buddy. Really not sure.
Winnipeg traffic, Osprey 784 lining up.
Keeping it wide. About three flights or so for you, Andrew, was it in total? Let's go to cancel, recall. Still got a cabin temp warning. Can't do anything about that though. We've done our bit in the sense that packs are on, all of that's on, automatic, recirc fans are on as well. That'd be fine. Tango arrow with the right there, helping with navigation on the ground. That's really good. Turn down the temperature is a good shout actually, we'll do that. What is the cabin temperature again? What was it? Quite impressive bit of scenery this, it's really nice. It's a part of the world that without the scenery I probably wouldn't bother going to be fair. We want 22 degrees, but the cabin temperature's 3 degrees, 4 degrees apparently. That cold? What? Can't be.
Winnipeg traffic, Oscar 74 taking off runway 13 via the Grizzly 2 departure.
Oh well, I'm sure it will go away soon.
Winnipeg traffic.
We'll fiddle around with it in the air. Everybody wears coats in Winnipeg anyway. Oh, well no, I tried to make it hot, Zato. That's the point. I made it hot because I had it over here, and then Flop said make it cold. I don't care, it's only passengers. I've got that stupid Microsoft Flight Simulator stuck brakes issue now. There we go.
18 via Echo, Foxtrot and Tango. Winnipeg traffic.
Flying short 1 to 3 hour flights are a joy. Multi-leg international where you get no sleep for over 30 hours is not so enjoyable. For much more local travel or be in the flight deck. Yeah, it's quite a journey, Andrew, that to be fair. I've already checked the system page multiple times. You can see what we're targeting. It's because, I think, the cabin is only 3-4 degrees and it's the differential between that and what we're trying to achieve is too great. I think that's all it is. So, we'll leave it at a nice median temperature for about there. It's probably about 20. 22. We'll leave it at that. That'll do. They can wear coats for the 3 hours that we're flying to Jacksonville. Really foggy. That's one thing I have noticed. And there's the windsock just there, indicating that we've got a little bit of a crosswind on our hands for today's departure. It's a 6 knot crosswind.
Grizzly 2 departure, runway heading.
So a 6 knot crosswind and a 9 knot headwind today on runway 18.
Winnipeg traffic, Oscar 74 airborne passing 4,000 feet. Last transmission Winnipeg traffic.
Oh yeah, the aircraft was cold. It wasn't. We didn't have APU on for very long, and we did de-icing with packs off, so the aeroplane would have been getting cooler and cooler. Off he goes. That's was that Zato? I think it might have been. Pop that on. Give the crew a chime. Bing bong. Traffic. Absolutely copper. There's the beast. Such a remarkable aircraft in real life, isn't it? The Dreamliner, certainly the 787-9 has got a specific presence about it. So D-rate takeoff, as planned, flying runway heading, 1,000 foot for engine or acceleration altitudes and thrust reduction, and initially runway heading and then vectors to our
Winnipeg
next en route point.
WestJet 5423,
runway turn off.
airborne
Nose.
3000 for
That's all set.
410, direct C8 Charlie Foxtrot Hotel Bravo.
There's the strobes, which is all lit up
Final
in the
call,
snow now.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg traffic. Osprey 165 Heavy is lining up runway 18, taking off Grizzly 2. There's the wigwags. The approach lighting's fantastic, look at that.
Winnipeg traffic, WestJet 1352, pushing back from gate 10 facing west on Echo, Winnipeg.
So we'll use as much of the runway as we can. So with that in mind, we're going to bring the nose wheel over the centre line there. Just as we're touching the centre line, we can then begin a bit of a turn. Gradually increase the sharpness, needs a little bit of power as well. Look at that. Fantastic. First winter ops of the year, I think, for the channel as well, for at least the winter season that we're about to enter. Shall we go? Jacksonville. Next stop. Zato says, holy moly, the breakout on departure is freaking amazing. Let's just make sure that's aligned, nose wheel is straight, and holding on the brakes. Heading 185 is set. 40% M1. Brakes off, toga. So a little bit of stick into wind because of that crosswind. Balance them ailerons, and as we accelerate through 80 knots, releasing the nose wheel pressure. There we are. So now the stick's neutral in pitch, but I'm holding left aileron. Counter that crosswind. Here we go. Rotate. So a little bit there, as we mentioned, where I pull the stick up and it unsticks the nose wheel, and then into positive rate, gear up, and we're probably going to climb pretty well. Just changing the pitch trim here because I do think they have it slightly off, so actually it needs to be 4.25, not 3. But here we are. Away we go. Autopilot 1 engage. Leveling off through thrust acceleration altitudes, and we're waiting for that breakout like Zato was saying a moment ago. Through flaps 5. Breakout's coming. We're going to get some epic views. Flap 1. Trotter says hello. We'll keep it climbing to 410. Turning left now, through that 3.1 waypoint. And then we'll head en route. Flaps up. Oh my good grief, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh!
And Winnipeg traffic Osprey 2472.
That is the
lining up
most
to take off on
spectacular
runway,
breakout
coming
I've
to
seen
departure.
in Microsoft
Winnipeg
Flight
traffic.
Simulator since the sim was released. Got hairs on the back of my neck. Oh my god! That was insane! That was remarkable. My goodness. That was quite something, wasn't it? I didn't know where to put the camera. That's the problem. I wanted to go to a wing view, but then we were turning into the sun, but my goodness. I'm going to watch that back after the stream. That is just stunning. Looks like a little bit of ice on the wings, doesn't it? But that, I mean, it seems to be the perfect time to depart Winnipeg. Winnipeg traffic, final call Osprey 165's out through 9,000, heading 110 degrees to resume track on the Juliet 86 airway. Final call Winnipeg. Through 10. 1, 2, 3. That's all off. Strobes stay on. Wing lights have come off. Logo lights can go off as well. So we've got beacon nav and strobes. Seatbelts. Absolutely, Mike. That one moment. Daniel, you can rewind and go back and have another look. So flaps are up. Order brake is off. And everything else is sorted out, so it's all our after takeoff checks complete.
And Winnipeg traffic Osprey 2472 is airborne, passing through 3,000 feet, runway heading, and then we'll track for the Grizzly 2 departure.
Yeah, you're in for a treat. Everybody's still departing there. Zata says, am I wrong now, Luke? I never felt like fainting from that beauty of a breakout. So we're going to go CFHBZ into a direct to LNAV engaged. We're on auto still. See what the cabin temperature is doing. So it's gone up to 8 degrees and 11 degrees. So it's a warning there because of the differential temperatures from what we're targeting, which is 22 in this case. It's only at 9. We don't need it so hot, to be fair. So if we keep turning it down, what does that give us? 21. God, is that much of a difference? 20. That'll do. Yeah, this is all default. There's no NVIDIA filters. There's no reshade stuff on Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is just my RTX4090 running the sim in 4K. Just spectacular. Can you imagine how good Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is going to be when the visuals of this are so stunning? Let's bring the range ring up a little bit. CFHBZ, by the way, is going to be our transition to... Is it Minneapolis Center that we're going to be speaking to? I think it is. 1334. So we'll pre-tune that in ready. I think I got a screenshot of that breakout. I did. So I've got one screenshot and I've put that into Volanta. In fact, the screenshots today so far have just been stunning. 4090 giveaway when, Doc says. Oh god. Mike says it was similar to the noises you made when you originally got the cash for one. Yeah, to be fair, it probably was. Transition altitude, standard pressure. We can do the same with the standby instruments. There we are, standard. Good work, Rab. How are you finding it, out of curiosity? Because you live in the longitude, don't you? It's your favourite aircraft. Most of the time doing a lot of biz jet, private jet flying as well, don't you, Rab? So enjoying a very different style of flying today. How are you finding the heavy? Okay, it's time to tune in.
For Minneapolis Center, good morning. Squawk 7033, say altitude leaving.
Initial thoughts? Pretty good, right?
Leaving 26, flight level 260.
So, how are we pronouncing this? Weeds or Weeds? Because if it was Germany, it would be Weeds. I'll go for Weeds. Cabin temperature still coming up. He's very talkative today, saying hello to you all in the background downstairs.
Contact 40 miles east of Humboldt, climb maintain flight level 350.
Climb maintain flight level 350, auspice 784.
Minneapolis, hello, good morning. WestJet 5423 at flight level 270-4410.
WestJet 5423, Minneapolis Center, good morning. Squawk 7067, addon.
Please repeat the squawk code for WestJet.
WestJet 5423, squawk 7067.
7067, and you want us to
There's
squawk
contrails
item?
up ahead. That's
WestJet
Carlito, I think.
5423.
Or no, Zato.
Roger, we're squawking item.
United 658, radar contact, say altitude leaving.
Yeah, I'd imagine it still looks really spectacular, Victor. And on a 1660, it's
Climb maintain flight level
remarkable
310,
from the
clear
sim
dock.
to be able to produce this level of graphics across such a variety of hardware. Let's chat to Minneapolis.
Delta 1341, descend via the Torquay 3 arrival, runway 12 right transition, Minneapolis altimeter 29er.
Roger, 29er, the descend via Torquay. Descend via Torquay 3 arrival, descend 12 right, Delta 1341.
Minneapolis, good morning. Osprey 165 heavies through flight level 245 for 410.
Osprey 165, Minneapolis Center, good morning. Squawk 7076, addon.
Squawk 7076 ident, good morning, Osprey 165.
WestJet 5423 is radar contact 40 miles east of Humboldt,
076.
climb maintain flight level 410.
So 7076, select squawk ident, means we press that button there. And that's now activated our ident, so we've sent a bing out on their radar scope.
And WestJet 5423, same Mach number.
Nice, Victor, good effort, that's pretty cool. Can't do that on VATSIM sadly though.
And Osprey 784, same Mach number.
And Sella, yes, this is live weather, live time. Visuals are one of the reasons, many reasons Hopper enjoys the streams, great to hear.
Osprey 784, roger. Maintain Mach decimal 79 for me, please.
Decimal 79, Osprey 784.
Temperature's coming up nicely. So basically the aircraft has been stored overnight in Winnipeg, getting colder and colder and colder and colder. So we fired the engine up today, it's still 0 degrees. So the aircraft's taken a little while to heat up. It's heating itself up nice and slowly. It's great to see this actually simulated really as well. It's quite a neat little feature that we wouldn't have otherwise maybe noticed if it wasn't for this particular route that we're doing today. And that's really cool. We've got our cabin occupants 233 that in our plan, master temperature set to 20 degrees. And currently flight decks are lovely 15. And the rest of the cabin is 12.
360 will resume number speed 5423.
It's blue, it's great. It can do everything that the working title 787-10 can do, with a load of other cool stuff as well, like the EFB bits. Shifty, welcome! Exactly, Victor. You only need one kidney. James, I did. Absolute madness. Well, no, I didn't see the one that crashed into the fence. I saw the one that had a nose wheel bounce, but not a Spirit bouncing and crashing into a fence. Clipper, correct. There's only menu. You've only got performance doors available. That's it.
Radar contact 4 or 5 miles east northeast of Humboldt. Climb maintain flight level 410.
Climb maintain flight level 410. Osprey 165. Aviate, hello, buddy. So, as we're climbing away.
For Care 304, descent pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 240.
Let's have a little look at Volanta and our situation so far. So these are the screenshots I've put into Volanta, and they'll go into our Discord server as well, and I'll definitely pick a few for Instagram. There's our de-icers in progress. There he is. Bob. Passing the whole point there. Really nice scenery from fsimstudios, I've got to say. That's stunning. And Takeoff, and the next one I think is the breakout picture. Oh! Very nice. Don Carlito, he's put a few up. Let's see, Osprey 784, has he got some screen grabs?
Minneapolis,
Yes.
West Texas, 443, sorry we got disconnected. You were able to fix our issue.
Lovely.
WestJet 5423. Okay, yeah, no problem. Didn't even notice it actually.
And the WestJet 5423 is there.
Okay, 5423.
That's a wicked picture, look at that. Into the sun. Who else we got? Ian behind, Osprey 2472. Oop. Awesome. That I think might be me taking off. And then we've got right at the front, Jan Rocks, WestJet 520. He's a little bit further ahead, but wow, look at that. In the pimped G737.
Minneapolis Center, very good morning.
Great to see that getting a lot of love. And more pilots airborne as well. We've got Flops, WestJet 1352.
Charlie Foxtrot, Hotel Bravo Zulu.
Osprey 2472, Minneapolis Center. Good morning, squawk 1512, ident.
1512, ident, Osprey 2472.
Nice, and that completes our fly along for the day. Nice little stream of pilots. And look how quickly the sun has come up. As we climb higher, the sun is kind of racing with us. And look at the ground down below. Where is World Flight now? Ah. There they are. I don't know what their call sign is. There's just so many aircraft flying along. They're off to, is it Casablanca? GMMNN? I think they're off to there.
658, clear direct zipper.
I think.
Clear direct zipper, 658.
And there we are.
Osprey 2472, I didn't observe radar contact 40 miles east northeast of Humboldt. Climb maintain flight level 350.
Climb maintain 350, Osprey 2472.
Osprey 784, you can resume normal speed. Thanks for your help.
Rab, have you fired up?
Osprey 784, resume normal speed.
Oh, I can see Badger up front as well, Delta 919.
Resume normal speed.
Tato, awesome. How can you check the legs for world flights? Seller is asking. Let me find the website. I'll put the link in the live chat for you. I mean, we're going to stream on Thursday, so tomorrow I've got a whole day of. I've got my motorcycle Mod 1 test. So I've got Mod 1 prep in the morning, and then I've got my Mod 1 test in the middle of the day through into the afternoon. And
Jet 520, radar fixed area of moderate precipitation, 12 o'clock in about 10 miles. You should probably be well above it.
And they. I think they're going to be flying in Thursday around India, I think it was. Can't remember off the top of my head.
Delta 1341 radar fixed.
But we're going to be in that kind of. We can either stream and try and join in, but it might just be pure chaos, or we fly somewhere else. I still need to check out the Orbex Dublin City Pack, so we could get the ATR and just do a couple of hops around Ireland, perhaps Ireland to Shannon, Dublin to Shannon, to Cork and back, or something like that to make it a nice little day. Bopping about Ireland.
Sun Country 565, contact Chicago Center 120.35, so long.
Very snowy down below. Have they got like a have they got like a tracker on how much money they've raised so far? Speedbird 47 Charlie is the UK team. They're raising money for the Lullaby Trust. That's incredible. In 2021 they raised over £35,000 for the Lullaby Trust. In 2020 they've raised over £33,000 for the Lullaby Trust. In 2019 they raised over £43,000 for the Lullaby Trust. And then they've supported various other charities over the years. There's loads of teams. £12,000 as of last night. That's fantastic. Simfest are over £15,000. Wow. Zekoslav, hello to you. Welcome.
Just about to call you. Descend and maintain 5,000. The Des Moines altimeter 29096. Brickyard 324 altimeter 29096. Expect visual approach runway 13.
Yeah, I think you're right. There is probably a typo. Middle of night shift. I was just getting it all set up. Which also means my thumbnail's probably a typo as well. which is doubly frustrating because I know now over the next year I'm going to have about, yeah, it is a typo, brilliant. Over the next year I'm going to have about 13 comments post-stream going, bro, your title's wrong, your thumbnail's incorrect, which seems to be a common theme. And it seems to happen regularly as well. Rab says he's stuck on vectors.
Delta 1341, expect ILS runway 12 right. 12 left is available if you'd like it.
Why is the wolf going crazy?
Runway 12 right, that's 1341.
For literally no reason at all. Yeah, I've got my Mod 1 test tomorrow, which is all slow manoeuvres, doing U-turns within kind of 2 curb areas and all of that sort of thing. Blue says that title updated for him without even refreshing the page. That's pretty cool. Yeah, usually it's
Brickyard 304 radar contact.
Br or bro. In the you've misspelt the thumbnail comments and all that sort of stuff. It does make me laugh. Pubboy API fixed jet Salar. No idea, buddy. And we are at flight level 410 for the first time in this aircraft, I think, too. Well, I'm learning on a Triumph Trident 660, James. But my motorbike that I've already purchased is a 888cc Triumph Tiger 900 GT, which is a road-based variant. Well, I've got Chicago Centre online as well. Epic. Thank you to everyone who's hit the like button so far today.
Southwest 3557, squawk mode Charlie, please.
They're 40 miles ahead, 35 miles ahead, but same altitude, interestingly. Which is the one that talks about step climbs. It's in here, isn't it? But it doesn't have a function. Max flight level 430. I wonder if I can step that high. Probably could today with that way.
1352 Minneapolis Center, good morning. Squawk 3026 and addon, please.
3026.
Badger, one of his cats just sat on the keyboard. So, are you currently hurtling down towards the ground upside down, thanks to your cat? Or has he just shut one engine off by accident? Just enough to get some attention.
United 658, contact Chicago Center 120.35. Have a good day.
2035 for United 658. Thanks for the ATC, sir. Bye bye.
Gorman, epic. It's an automatic step climb then. Pretty neat. Good afternoon, MPS Gaming. Welcome, buddy. If anyone's still thinking, you know what, I'm able to fly today, I just don't know where, then you can. if you're quick, join us from Minneapolis for a departure on VATSIM, and then join our routes. Or even in the next 30 minutes, we're going to be overflying Chicago Midway / Chicago O'Hare as some en route options for people wishing to fly along. Sequence into the little queue. Who's got the shorts? I think Blackbox, a developer, has created a short thing, which is quite cool. I haven't really looked at it, to be honest. I haven't got any contact with Blackbox, so I don't know who they are. I don't know what their previous is or anything like that. What does the R stand for, Flying Panda? A little bit of engine wiggle going on there.
And Minneapolis Center, WestJet 1352 request.
WestJet 1352, Minneapolis Center, first year radar contact 50 miles west of Humboldt, and say request.
Yeah, would it be possible to leave the cockpit for about 15, possibly 20 minutes?
WestJet 15, correction, WestJet 1352, that's approved. Before you go, you're clear direct to Rock Springs, Oscar Charlie Sierra.
Okay, Oscar Charlie Sierra, thank you so much, and we'll report back WestJet 1352.
It was like quite a calm day, to be fair. Even ATC has got a really like kind of relaxed vibe to their tone. No pressure, no stress. It's quite nice.
Wisconsin 6220, Minneapolis Center, loud and clear. How many? Very loud and clear. Delta 1341, fly present heading, descend and maintain 6000.
Fly running heading
Hello, Yardy.
6000, Delta 1341.
Ah, Flying Panda, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Minneapolis Center, Oscar Center 4 requesting 15 minutes out of cockpit.
So,
Osprey 784, yep, that's approved.
Step
no
R.
more than 15 though, because
oh, look at that RVSM.
to Chicago by that point.
Step to 430
15 minutes, we'll call
in,
back.
500 nautical miles. Oh wow, so it's actually calculated one. How many miles have we got left? Jeez, 1,000. Alright, we'll do that step climb, because I want to see how it behaves at flight level 430. That'd be quite a cool test. KMTG aren't finished with the 777 yet, James, otherwise they're one of the way that they work is once they are ready and it's happy, they release the jet. Also, side note, our cabin temperature warning is now gone, and our cabin is equalised with our target pressure as well. Look at that. Go us. They'll all be taking their comfy Canada Goose coats off in the back. That's the other option actually for Thursday. I've got the new Dallas Love Field airport scenery, big southwest base. So we could fly a route from there. I was looking at actually flying into there from Washington DCA. So instead of flying into Washington National, we could depart from Washington National for once and then fly into Dallas Love Field. So that could be Thursday's live stream, or we do the ATR. All that sort of stuff. Yardy says, any chance you could help make a tutorial on how to add the FT Sim plus Rolls-Royce engine sounds to the 787? I seem to lose all sound, or it doesn't work at all. It sounds like you're not regenerating the layout JSON file. Yardy. But in effect, you know what, I can kind of show you now. Might be easier. Stand by. Let me get the files up so that it's easier to explain. Downloads. Where is it? Oh. There's add-ons. Oh, wrong folder. Crikey. Aircraft. Horizon Sim. Right. Okay, so you're going to need the layout generator, which is a special program. It will make more sense in a second, but you want to go get your FT Sim Plus sounds, extract them, whatever, and then you want to get the folder and you want to put them inside Horizon Sim 789, Sim Objects, Airplanes, and only put them into the tray. You don't want the GENX sounds, because otherwise you'll overwrite those lovely sounds that we heard when we pushed back earlier. So go into Trent, sound, and then 787, basically you'll have a Sobo's 787 SP PC pack and Sound XML. Delete both of those and then paste your FT Sim Plus Sound pack plus the FT Sim Plus Sound XML file into this folder here. Once you've done that, you need to come out a little bit to the main Horizon Sim folder and you have layout.json. So you then need a second screen.
Yeah, Wisconsin 6220, where are you?
Stand by. Find it. There we are. So you then need a second screen, second tile open, with the MSFS layout generator program there, and you basically get the layout JSON, you click and hold, and you put it over the top of that, and it says open with MSFS layout generator, let go of the mouse click, and then you'll see like a little window pop up for like a split second, and then go away. Done. That's it. But obviously every time you update the Horizon Sim 787 you'll need to put that back in again and regenerate the layout generator using that layout JSON tool thing there as well.
Alright, 2-1 departure then we'll expect Wisconsin 6220 assuming pushback.
How's that? Hopefully that explains well enough.
Yeah, you're pushing the air carrier after your discretion is advised ready for taxi. Well advised there. Delta 1341, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Perhaps says if you do the ATR, you need to keep your throttle above idle when taxiing. Interesting. Yardy, no problem at all. That's £100, please. Little right turn coming up. Just Google it, Yardy, and you'll see one. It pings up. It's a GitHub link. And that's the one you want. But I think it's literally the first result on Google from memory. A Mars bar sounds fine. Quick blip of the throttle brings it back. Okay, that's easily solvable then. Somebody was saying a little while ago, oh, the ATR's broken, so we didn't use it after the sim update. But it sounds like it's got another quirk to consider, but it doesn't sound broken as long as the rest of it works. We've not flown in the ATR for a while, and it is such great fun to fly. So maybe we do that. What I'll do is I'll look on Volanta. There's World Flight. What have we got here? So we can go out of Dublin. We can zip across to Shannon. In fact, do they fly from Dublin to Belfast Aldergrove? Ah, you know what I can do? Schedules. Here we go. No, they don't. Probably because of political issues. Oh, they only fly to Kerry. That's in a 737, so that doesn't help us. There's literally no mention of ATRs at all on these. How strange. Am I clicking something wrong here? That's all 738. Well, there goes that idea. Yeah, I thought that, Andy, as well. I thought Bristol and a few others did, but it doesn't seem like they do. At least according to Volanta scheduling, anyway. I wonder what flight radar says. Dub. Departures. Well, they fly to Glasgow in the ATR 76, Edinburgh. Birmingham Airport could be a good one. Mako Simulations Birmingham in the ATR 72-600. And that's a Aer Lingus regional flight. We could go there and back, potentially. What's the flight time there? They fly to the Isle of Man as well. That's a short old journey. 1 hour. Wow. What else have we got here? PCS, no. ATRs. They fly to Bristol in the ATR, so the Volanta scheduling's incorrect.
Runway 12 right, taxi via Delta with
Edinburgh, Manchester.
35, I'm gonna try it again. Runway 12 right, taxi via Delta, Whiskey, cross runway 4.
There's quite a few options. We go to Leeds, Bradford as the ATR as well. That's an hour and a half flight time. They fly to Donegal.
Roger, left turn, Delta 1341.
Delta 1341, when able, safe parking.
Do any of those stand out for you guys?
Delta 1341, say parking.
Any gates, please, sir.
Delta 1341, taxi parking via Alpha, have a good day.
The Alpha to the left, Delta 1341, thank you.
United 2660, Minneapolis.
We could do a little short.
And, or verify 36 is your request.
Well, it needs to be involving Dublin because of the Orbex Dublin City Landmarks pack. I was supposed to preview it, and that was over a month ago now, which is a little bit of a whoops. In mid-September, in fact, I was meant to preview it, and just haven't got round to it.
We did check it on flight planning, yeah, 360 requested final.
So I need to get that off the list.
We can go up to 380 if you want to.
So something into and out of Dublin with the ATR 72 would be quite nice.
Maintain flight level 360.
Maintain flight level 360
Crikey, Matthew, good morning. He says he takes the A321 on 22-minute flights. It takes longer to board the aircraft than the in-air time of the flight. There are some weird short ones out there. My goodness, that's super short, really weird. I'm surprised that it even generates money.
Osprey 2472, radar contact lost.
Right, what have we got? Departures. So I can't filter these because I haven't got the special version. They're the real world routes anyway. Look, we've got Birmingham in the ATR, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Southampton, which is what we were meant to do the other week. So we were going to do Dublin to Southampton and back, and somebody said that it had broken with the update, so we then canned the idea of that. We could always revisit Southampton, to be fair. I haven't seen East Midlands on this list though. There's Origny, Guernsey. That could be a good one. Let's go flight info. Oh, maybe they don't do that anymore. Yeah, Manchester as well. That could have been a good one. I think Guernsey's got some really nice freeware scenery as well, hasn't it? From memory. Liverpool, Donegal. Oh, Ian, that's not good. Sim crash. That would teach me to muck around with video settings mid-flight. Yeah. New Sky Recall should work pretty nicely though. Rab saying Isle of Man. There's the Manchester sector. Birmingham again.
Wisconsin 6220, runway 21, taxi via Alpha Bravo. Taxi Alpha Bravo 21.
There's the Isle of Man one. Flight info. That's a super short flight, look at that. What's the air time? 26 minutes, my goodness. Maybe that's a bit too short.
Delta 282, Matt Center, good morning. Squawk normal, I push approved, 12 right, call for taxi.
We could just do a very short stream though on Thursday, couldn't we? So we could start cold and dark perhaps, and we could just go to the Isle of Man and back. And just do a nice short one. Always an option, isn't it, I guess? Back twice. That's very repetitive. Even I don't want to do that.
That's actually Delta 282. It's 12 right or left is your decision. I think the clearance I sent you was for 12 left.
Oh, it's all right.
Okay, you got it.
Aberdeen. I haven't seen Dundee. I've got the Dundee scenery. I think we've flown into it once. I don't know if we've ever flown into Aberdeen. Logan Air operate that route, look. Gosh. That is an average flight time of 1 hour 4 minutes. Depot, it's got to involve Dublin. That's the whole point. David says Dublin to Isle of Man to Liverpool to Dublin maybe. Could do. We could always. We don't have to do Emerald Air, can we? We could just do Osprey Regional. That could be quite an idea. Yeah. So we could do. I mean, even if we don't stop at, even if we don't return to Dublin, we could start at Dublin.
57, fly runway heading, runway 12 right.
Hop to Isle of Man. Hop to Liverpool, and then we could hop to somewhere else. A couple of real short ones perhaps.
Wisconsin 6220, just verify the squawk code 2604.
Matthew says he had a trip like that before he left his regional, spent the last 2.5 days flying back and forth between the same 2 airports 8 times, and only once did it become that repetitive. I think we did Glasgow the other week. Literally a week or 2 weeks ago. Might be wrong. I might be wrong. Surprised you didn't stay at Andrew. I thought you were looking to stay in.
Proceed direct zipper. Climb and maintain flight level 330. Runway 21 clear for takeoff.
Yeah, I thought you were staying in the Isle of Man, Andrew. Yeah, we've not done Edinburgh for a while, to be fair. So what about Dublin, Isle of Man to Edinburgh? And we just do Osprey Regional. I don't think we've flown the ATR into Edinburgh before.
Southwest 3557 radar contact, stay altitude leaving.
So we've got Dubs, Isle of Man, Eddie. That'll do, Badger, that'll do. Triple header indeed. They're always the hardest ones to set up thumbnails for, because there's never enough space. Andy says Dublin to the Faroe Islands. Nah, there's a curveball question there. Curveball option.
Thanks. Climb and maintain flight level 310.
The ATR will struggle with that though.
Direct doctor.
Level 310, back to, can you hear again?
Andrew, oh, okay, gotcha. So are you moving back to the Isle of Man from Canada in February then? I'm so hoping, by the way, that tomorrow, the weather, certainly the weather at the minute around Oxfordshire is just stunning. Really, really nice day. And I'm hoping it holds tomorrow so that on my Mod 1 test it's just as sunny. It's a nice kind of autumn crisp day like it is now, because the sun gives you a little bit of warmth and keeps the tarmac dry on the bloody Oxford City car park that I've got to do the Mod 1 assessment in.
Connect Chicago Center 120.35. So long.
That's our next frequency.
120.35, Oscar 784. Thank you for the UTC. Have a good day.
WestJet 5423, contact Chicago Center 120.35. Good day.
20.35, thanks for UTC on WestJet 5423.
It could be David. Every time we've gone to the Faroe Islands there's been a problem.
Wisconsin 6220, radar contact, stay altitude leaving.
So, Wisconsin 6220 leaving 2.7
Rap.
330.
Wisconsin 6220, thanks.
Go into your forecast, make sure you got your winds. But then just look at your progress page there. Gives you an idea roughly of how long to go to to your destination. Yeah, it doesn't have a top of descent in there. But I haven't put the arrival in yet either, to be fair yet.
Southwest 3557, you expect flight level 310 as your final cruising altitude today. Southwest 3557, you can expect flight level 310 as your final altitude today.
Respect flight level 310 for Southwest 3557.
Just waiting to be handed off now. I think probably around where that lake is there, which looks... is that a lake? Yeah. Sun reflecting off it, that's really cool. What's that airport there?
Delta 28 to taxi.
Delta 2882, runway 12 right, taxi via Alpha, across runway 4.
That's Central Wisconsin Airport. That little right angled airport there. The weather in Winnipeg, for example, -1 degrees and 299.5 for the air pressure. In Jacksonville, by contrast, the pressure is 3012. The temperature is a lovely 18 degrees Celsius, and the wind calm. So currently, if it stays that way as well, we'll be flying into some absolutely.
Osprey 165, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
Contact Chicago 12035, Osprey 165. Thanks for the ATC. Good day.
At 658, 5 miles from route, across route of 4000, cleared out 10 center approach.
Cross route at 4000, cleared ILS 10 center approach, United 658.
Oh, Delta, what are the chances? That's pretty cool.
Right radio reach. Delta 2109, Chicago Center, wind 360 at 7, turn left, heading 360, runway 10, correction, runway 9 right, at Foxtrot, clear for takeoff.
And yeah, it doesn't have INS still, so I'm still waiting for DC Designs to pull his finger out and get INS sorted out. Chicago Center, good morning. Osprey 165 heavies, it's 15 miles north of Bigosh, flight level 410.
Osprey 165, Chicago Center, roger.
Different sounds as well, which are pretty good. I do wonder sometimes if people would be interested in having like a video that's just in the cruise. Pure silence, no talking, no commentary.
1009.
Just
centers offline, radar service terminated, change advisory.
Just the engine noise of cruising along, and like a camera view like that.
Yeah, it's 658.
Like 2 hours.
360 at 7, runway 10 center, clear to land.
10 center, cleared to land, United 658.
Oh, Delta Tango, yeah, that's pretty cool.
United 280, radar contact, climb, maintain level 370, clear direct Duffy.
370.
Good morning, Delta 2194 holding Foxtrot runway 09 right.
Delta 2194, Chicago Center, wind 360 at 7, turn left heading 360, runway 9 right, at Foxtrot, clear for takeoff.
After departure at heading 360 and runway 09 left, clear for correction 09 right, clear for takeoff for Delta 2194.
Delta 2109, radar contact, say altitude.
Delta 2109, climbing through 3,000 spirals now.
Delta 2109,
I was going to wiggle my
climbing
wings for you, Delta Tango.
Clear direct Pumpkin, resume normal speed.
Oh, roger, resume normal speed, clear direct Pumpkin, climb and maintain 320, Delta 2109.
Release it. Heathrow to JFK stream in the cruise from a window view. Just call it a Boeing Sleep Sounds stream. God, that'd be a long one, wouldn't it? I wouldn't dare think about how many gigabytes that would be to upload. What about 3 million gig?
Delta 1523.
Delta 1367, Indianapolis is offline. Radar service terminated. Change to advisory approved. See ya.
22 Delta 1367, thanks. Goodbye.
ETA at JAX 1647 for RAB. You must have missed it when I was showing it to you a second ago. I mean, the difficulty with the wing view thing would be takeoff, wouldn't it? Because
280 clear direct to Keyword, that's Echo,
you would have to have
Lima,
keybinds
X-ray.
set up for autopilot, LNAV, VNAV, autopilot on, all of that kind of thing, and you'd have to try and do it from the wing view. Really smoothly. Takeoff and landing would be almost impossible, I think. Ah, chuffing egg.
Delta 1523, runway 9 right, line up and wait.
9 right, line up and wait. 1523.
Delta 2194, radar contacts altitude.
Delta 2194, maintaining 5,000 feet.
Delta 2194, roger, climb maintain level 340, resume normal speed.
Climb flight level 340 and normal speed, Delta 2194.
Delta 1523, wind 360 at 7, turn
He's
left,
busy now.
360, runway 9 right.
It's nice to listen to some ATC sometimes, isn't it? Davis, the second instance of flight sim with shared cockpit would work. That's not a bad shout actually, where you just, someone else flies and you just sit in the window seat for a couple of hours.
Hello, American 2079, approaching port of Port 0 line right.
I've got an issue at the minute with a company who's got some of my money from some investments, stocks and shares. And my bank account changed 2 years ago, but they're now not letting me withdraw the funds because I haven't got a statement showing that my account's closed. And I'm like, well, you're holding my money.
Chicago Center, Citation 777 Charlie X-ray.
777 Charlie X-ray, go ahead.
Right on the ground midway, we got Charlie looking for IFR down in Charlotte.
Thankfully, I can find a statement.
777 Charlie X-ray cleared to the Charlotte Airport via the Midway 6 departure. Radar vectors earned. That is filed. Maintain 3000. Expect level 410 minutes after departure. Departure will be on this frequency. Squawk 0516.
Wicked. Right, now I can send it to them.
Charlie X-ray.
I've sent them everything.
Charlotte via the Midway 6 departure intersection. And then that's file maintain 3000, flight level 410, departure on the unit, squawk 0516.
777 Charlie X-ray, read back correct.
Well, I suppose they're trying to be safe, aren't they? They're trying to make sure my account isn't subject to fraud and all that kind of stuff. That's what they will end up saying when I have a little moan at them. Victor says not nice
2079, fly runway heading, runway
to hear the ATC
right
talk while I watch YouTube live streams. When I turn down the YouTube volume, it's dead silence because I missed the call. Oops.
Delta 1523, radar contacts, the altitude.
3000.
Yeah, David, well that fell on its arse, didn't it?
Clear direct Pumpkin, climb and maintain
I tried, I really tried to get something organised. That's a wicked screenshot, look at that. I really tried to get something sort of organised, but everybody's either too busy or can't be bothered. And then I almost revisit the idea of
November Echo Alpha
leaving VATSIM UK as a controller and going elsewhere. Yeah, David, transfer to backhand, it's the only way. The thing is, I have very limited time to do like transferee training and all that sort of stuff as well.
At 719, runway 9er, Chicago Center, runway 9 right at Foxtrot, line point.
Under right at Foxtrot, line up away.
All of our liveries are on our website, britishavgeek.com. This is now also updated into the Osprey Airways VMR for vPilot too, so for your model matching, you can now add this in, providing you've got it installed obviously, it will then allow it to be loaded as a matched livery. It's absolutely beautiful. We've had a lot of requests for this across various airframes, and we've sort of resisted. That's because Damo was having a bit of a break from livery creation, and still is really. He's just kind of come away and said, you know what, I'll do this for you anyway, which is incredibly kind of him. And he's even done the dirty livery as well, so we've got like the oil stains on the cargo hold doors and all that sort of thing. It's quite cool.
Delta 2109, clear to the Robbie intersection. That's Romeo Oscar Bravo Bravo Yankee.
Roger. Direct Robbie, Delta 2109.
Ah,
An American
they're going the other way. So we're about to pass them.
American 27.
So we might have a big old
radar contact,
contraflow with London controller going northbound as we're all heading southbound. Can't do that, James, unfortunately, because that's another one of the rules with FSIM UK. You can't control airports like Heathrow, even though I know it like the back of my hand, and I can drive on the apron around the taxiways and all that sort of thing. But no, can't play it in a game as a controller. That'd be one that I would actually be really interested in learning. But East Midlands is pretty cool. They've all got unique handoffs and weird different nuances though sometimes, so it makes it a little tricky when you're not controlling regularly to remember a lot of the different unique features that each airport might have. I reckon we could pump it to Mach 8.5, but how many have we got behind? Oh. Apparently nobody. Good stuff, Yardy. Pump it, Mach 8.5.
United 719, wind 3607, turn left heading 360, runway 9 right at Foxtrot, Foxtrot, clear for takeoff.
Off departure 360, clear takeoff, 9 right, 719.
American 2079, radar contact lost.
There's our recommendation for step climb, 160 nautical miles.
Chicago Center Delta 1522 request.
1522, go ahead.
Yes, could we get flight level 320 if possible?
Rabs, how do you work out your auto brake setting, Luke?
1523, climb maintain level.
Oh, well, if in doubt, I'll use 2
Thank
or
you,
3.
1523.
But I'll look at the length of the runway. There's nothing really in here that helps because it's all about performance to takeoff. So, what I did last time is I used VAS Airplane Toolbox, and I generated the figures using the 787-8 inside VAS Airplane Toolbox, and that then gave me an auto brake setting. In fact, it might be worth doing for this flight, so let me just fire that up again. FS add-ons, VAS Airplane Toolbox. Let's see what it says.
And Chicago Center, Citation 7 Charlie X-ray is on south around ready to taxi in Midway. We got Charlie.
So I'll put it on the screen for you folks as well, so you can see. But I'll just use it as a single screen thing. Output.
7 Charlie X-ray, runway 31 center, taxi via Yankee.
So I know we're in the Dash 9, but I'll load the 787-8 anyway, and I'll load our SimGrid data in. Not too worried about that. 18259. Landing, that's what we want. We're expecting 08.
Thank you. Climb and
Tailwind
maintain
of 4 knots.
260, clear direct to Pumpkin, resume normal speed.
time maintain flight level 260.
So probably going to be using
normal speed, United 719.
de-icing KJAX. Let's see what it says. Visual approach runway 8 in use. Visual approach.
Center, Spirit Wing 7634.
Alright, visual approach it is then. With a tailwind of 4 knots. There's the METAR, there's our data, planned landing weight of 163,732, both reversers, calculate.
10 left to Delta Delta.
So I'll use auto brake 3 then, in this case, flat 30, because we're a bit heavier. So I'm going to go auto brake 3. That's kind of how I do it. I'll look at the margins and go, right, the first green one, if it's a big enough margin, say 700-800 meters, then I'll use that. If not, I'll use the next one up, depending on what the margins are. And then I might tinker with reverse idle, but it doesn't really change very much. Only 20 meters. The good thing with America is you can go into that de-icing.cloud with a w.io / and you type in the US airport, so in this case KJAX,
Go ahead.
and you can see it's got the real ATIS information there. You drop down the list and you can view all of these different airports: Tampa, through to Austin, Atlanta, Washington DCA as well.
Transition the midway altimeter 29er.
Orlando and all that. It's pretty cool. Max, that will be an auto thrust speed warning. It's like a siren, like, isn't it? Something like that. And that's just to do with your auto thrust settings and all that sort of thing. There is, I think, Lake Michigan. So let's pan round and up, and let's see if we can get a really good screenshot from above. So we are overflying Chicago. I wonder if we're actually overflying Chicago Airport proper. No, there's Midway, Chicago Midway. Just there. I think that's Midway.
Triple 7 Charlie X-ray wind 3507, turn left heading 250, runway 31 center, cleared for takeoff.
Left heading 250, runway 31 center, cleared for takeoff, 7 Charlie X-ray.
Look at that. There's some cross-flow contrails.
5540 is short of Alpha to Foxtrot ramp, taxi with Foxtrot. That was 5540. Roger, runway 10 left at Delta Delta, taxi via Alpha.
We've got a whole load of people.
15 November. Alright, 10 left at Delta Delta via Alpha.
I don't know if we can see them actually. If we go to this view, perhaps we can. I think they're below us. Down there somewhere.
Delta 2194, clear director Robbie. It's Romeo Oscar Bravo Bravo Yankee. Director Robbie.
Chicago O'Hare.
Romeo Oscar Bravo Bravo Yankee.
Somewhere.
2194.
Ah, chuffing heck, there it is. The size of that.
Charlie X-rays with you, leveling at 3,
Try and
heading 250.
get another view. Where are we?
7 Charlie X-ray, Chicago Center, Roger, climb, maintain level 410, clear direct earned, resume normal speed.
Look at the size of that.
Roger, direct earn at flat level 410.
It's huge from above, isn't it? My God. Absolute mega airport.
Delta 2194, say Mach number. Delta 1523, do not exceed Mach 0.78.
Will not exceed Mach 0.78, Delta 1523.
So over O'Hare, almost transitioned directly over it. We're skirting around the edge of beautiful Lake Michigan.
Spirit Wing.
There's downtown Chicago.
When we started our engine, we didn't have our parking brakes set, and we started.
That's the Giuseppe Designs Chicago. Just rebalanced the drone camera there. That's the Giuseppe Designs Chicago landmarks pack, I think, as well, which looks beautiful from above. Look at the detail. Let's go into this view. Look at that. Lots of screenshots. Yeah, I went there for a stag do during COVID. It was odd because everything was closing down around us, but I've been to Chicago a few times. It's a remarkable place. Is that Meigs Field? I think it is, isn't it? Good old flight sim favourite. Lovely. That's the first time I've seen that in the sim. I've had it installed for months. Months and months and months.
Chicago Center, Southwest 357, shall we descend by the south?
South 35,
yeah, got in real life.
7 firm descend via the ND6 arrival.
That will descend by the ND6 arrival, Southwest 357, thank you.
Kept aligned.
1523, do not exceed Mach 0.74 intro spacing.
Mach 0.74, 1523.
Yeah, your winds may not match in the sim. I'm just trying to make sure you don't overtake that fellow in front of you there.
Yeah, no dramas. 1523.
Rab says he just had a Delta scooting below him. Very cool. It's nice to see America so busy for what is a very early morning flight, to be fair.
Let's go with 5540, short of 10 left at Delta, ready to go.
Let's go with 5540, wind to 360 at 7, runway 10 left at Delta, clear for takeoff, fly runway heading.
Clear for takeoff, fly runway heading 10 left at Delta, Skywest 5540.
.1, so kiddies. Let's do a fuel check. Estimated fuel on board 11.6. Lovely. Well, currently we just got over 12. 17 miles to Cadiz, so good. We're within limits there. What's our range to the next aircraft ahead of us? 30 miles. Got a Mach 86.
280 Cleveland is offline, radar service terminated, change of advisories approved, have a good day.
United the radar service terminated, bye bye.
Chicago Center, Wisconsin 6220 with you, full 310. Wisconsin 6220, Chicago Center, roger.
That says, Delta Tango says Makesfield is now a park in real life. Quite a read when you have the time. They've ripped it out overnight.
Chicago
Wow.
Center, roger. That was 55.
I wonder if I stood on it without even
40,
realising.
radar
it.
contact,
I'm going to go back on Volanta and have a little look on
500,
the coastal area.
5540.
Chicago Makesfield. So if I now go to
That was
satellite.
5540, roger. Climb maintain level 3.
Oh, that's the observatory!
3000, clear direct to
Oh my god,
mobile,
we cycled there and I stood
Climb
there.
maintain flight level 370, leaving 3000, clear direct mobile and normal speed. Sky was 55.
Bloody hell. Stood there on the stag do. We didn't even make the connection that Makesfield was there. We didn't do the whole thing though. We kind of stood at the big observatory bit at the very end. We went round that and then cycled back down the road and then round the coastline again. But my goodness.
Air Wisconsin 6220, descend via the Flight 7 arrival. O'Hare landing east. The O'Hare altimeter 2998.
Alright, we'll descend via the Flight 7 arrival and 2998 on the altimeter there. Can I plan?
You need premium deluxe edition Novi.
Affirm, you
Not
can
just
expect
deluxe, premium deluxe. X frequency 1228. Trigger chip's nice. I'm gutted that I'd never made the connection that we were stood on Makesfield when we cycled there. Certainly from playing Flight Sim 2000 and Makesfield, it was Makesfield and Chicago O'Hare were the only airports that you could fly to, I think, from memory, at least when I was using it. Don't know if they ever expanded it beyond that, but it was the 777. Was it a Robinson R-22 helicopter?
Westjet 5423, Indy Center's offline, radar service terminated, change of advisory approved, have a good
And
day.
Concorde and a few other bits.
Have a good day.
American 2741, Minneapolis is now offline, radar service terminated, change of advisory approved, have a good flight.
Mark Army Minicom, thanks, and good job controlling the Jamie Herd today.
Thank you, sir.
Woohoo, Rab, my goodness. Legs the size of a horse. Rab's cycle statistics for this year so far: 5,271 miles covered, with 335,568 feet of climbing from 76 rides, so averaging around 70 miles per ride. My god. Basically, Rab is a Minotaur. Is it a Minotaur? The horse with the face of a head. The face of a head? With the head the head of a human is what I was meant to say. Not face of a head. That makes zero sense at all. That's proper night shift brain talking.
Osprey 784, Indy Center offline, radar service terminated, change of advisory approved, have a good day.
Going to Unicom, Osprey 784, thank you for the ATC.
Now I want to know what it would look like, so I'm on my DALI account generating an AI image.
Delta 2109, Minneapolis is offline. Radar service terminated. Change advisory is approved. Have a great flight.
Unicom, thanks for your fantastic HC today, mate. Much appreciated. Take care. Delta 2109.
You're welcome. Good day.
Let's see what it comes up with. I wonder if Dali has got any better these days. I mean, that's pretty good, but it doesn't have a human head. Let's see what it comes up with again. I'm using all my credits now. No, I mean, that's pretty horrendous. That's what it's come up with. Not even close to what I asked for. It's kind of a bit of everything, but then gone, nah, that'll do.
Osprey 165, Indy's offline.
Poo
Radar
would
service
come out there.
terminated. Change advisory is approved. Have a good day.
Yeah, changed it to 122.8 Osprey 165 Heavy. Thanks for the ATC. Have a good day.
Good day. 777 Charlie X-ray, same for you. Indy is offline. Radar service terminated. Change advisory is approved. Have a great flight.
Right, what can we generate on Dali? What do we got here? Let's see. That's what it also generated a moment ago. I put high definition of a Minotaur on a bicycle riding a hill, ran a hill on a road. Don't think this one's worked out how to use a pedal cycle. And that one's absolutely cacking his pants because he's realised his brakes aren't strong enough and he's about to go downhill. Is it a Minotaur that I'm thinking of? I can't remember. I'm not very good at Dali, that's the thing. You have to be very specific about what you want, and I have no idea what half of it means. Right, someone give me something to generate. I'll punch it in, I'll see what it comes up with. Ideally flight sim related, maybe. Although it struggles with aeroplanes, doesn't it? Really struggles with aeroplanes. You end up with like three aeroplanes, or there are 3 engines on a wing, and all sorts of weirdness going on. I don't know if it would know what an A380 is. I've got one. A high quality photo of a person. Let's see what it comes up with. But you're like that. How does somebody come up with that? Oh, I want an oil painting portrait of a capybara wearing medieval wool robes and an ornate crown in the background. Like, who even comes up with that idea? High quality photo, a person riding a bicycle with the legs of a horse. Person that has legs like a horse riding a bicycle on a scenic road. Maybe we need to word it like that. I wish I understood AI more. At least before it kills us all. It just doesn't get it, does it? Why has that horse only got one leg? I'd call a vet to put it down and dispatch it by means of a shotgun. Christ, that's almost NS. Not safe for work, isn't it? What the? That's not legs of a horse. Neither are they. I'll get rid of that before it ends up becoming a Peggy 18 stream. Peanut butter jelly sandwich in a cube. It's one of those weird things that the more information you put into it, the more you get out from it. But it's not the best thing in the world, is it? It's not really amazing. It doesn't blow your mind with half of this stuff. Right, let's put that one in. Never knew she had such nice legs there, Tango. Yeah. An airplane full of dogs on spring break going to Ibiza. So the question here though, Matthew, is what kind of image? A photo of an airplane full of dogs? Or do you want digital art? Or... let's see what that one comes up with. Who let the dogs out? There you go. We'll break it up like that. Now let's see what it comes up with. I mean, that's pretty creative. Stained glass window depicting a robot. That's quite unique. Yeah, woof woof. That's weird. All that faces all blurred up. What happened to his head? So strange. Found our next thumbnail, that one. We could put that one on a t-shirt. High quality digital art of an airplane full of dogs inside an freeway going to a party in Ibiza to get herpes. Let's see what it does with digital art instead. And this will be my last one because I'll run out of credits. And they cost money. Yeah, buddy! He's buzzing. Off to go and sniff around all the pussycats in Ibiza and woof at them all. And they're on their flight back, having had a mad weekend, and they're still drunk. Flying Ryanair probably. That's quite good. Not sure what that is meant to be. Is that a chicken leg in the background? Who knows? Have we hit our step climb yet? Oh yeah, we did. Step 2, 430 now. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Bosh. 430, that's automatically updated. Step climb's gone in. Favourite airport to arrive into? Tricky. That's a tough one. Trying to think off the top of my head around what we've done in Flight Sim that's really good in MSFS, but so many to choose from, it's just too much, I think. So I don't think I can decide. I mean, in all likelihood, it's going to be something like Kos, Samos, Skiathos. Christchurch is amazing as well, as is Queenstown in New Zealand. All really good. In fact, what was the what's the one in the Whitsundays? The Skiathos of Australia. That one. That's really spectacular to fly into. Actually, that's lovely to fly into. Badger's favourite is Anchorage. Nice. Yeah, very unique place as well. Too many to choose from. Madeira is a good one as well. Always fun. Gibraltar for Yismati. Hamilton Island. Thank you, Jordan. That's the one. Well, it's like a weird little dog leg, but it's kind of, I'd say it's not pointless because it's still like 100 or so nautical miles, but almost as if I'd be tempted to go IRU direct lawn. We can go all the way up to Mach 89. Bloody hell. Right, I'm going for it. Mach 89. See if I can overtake. I'm trying to spot the contrails for Carlito, but I can't see him. Ah, there he is. Just there. Neil, hello, saying you should try the Osaka 1-4 right visual. Ah, Haneda's always good for approach, actually. We did that the other week. Beautiful place. One of my favourite parts of the world as well. Who's flying along? Should we do the direct 2 and nip the corner? Carlito's ahead as well, actually. Should we go IRU direct lawn? Yeah, let's do that. Sod it. Execute. Keep her in a straight line. This is the other thing with the Dreamliner. We can fly along at Mach 89. And it's right on the edge of the barb pole. We're at flight level 430, so I think it's at ceiling altitude as well, isn't it? 430. And it's not even breaking a sweat. IIU's coming up, so we'll do a fuel check, certainly now because we've accelerated and step climbed. Louisville VOR, and it says we should have 10 tons of fuel on board. So actually we're right on the cusp of our profile actually. We've got 10.5 on board with 20 miles to go to IIU, so actually that shortcut there would be good for our fuel burn. Carlito, no, very true. I think that's another reason why I've stepped over, because that means I can buzz over the top of you. You're there, aren't you, buddy? I can buzz over the top of you. I have gone direct to lawn though, Carlito, if you wanted to do the same. And look at our ground speed, 579. We've got probably about 70 knot tailwind pushing us along. The rest is a slight crosswind. Winnipeg's got even worse now. It's IFR conditions. Let's see what the METAR's doing. I'll put the command in the live chat for Winnipeg. That breakout was one of the most spectacular I've seen in Flight Sim for a while. Wow, overcast at 1000 now. The temperature's dropped to -1. The spread is only 1 degree as well. Look, -2. And the winds, 140 at 12, gusting 20 all of a sudden. My goodness, we've avoided that. The weather at Winnipeg's got really horrible really quickly then. Yasmati, no, it's correct. Most aircraft in cruise will sit at about 2-3 degrees nose up pitch, which is also, fun fact, I was reading about it the other day, why engines tend to be mounted ever so slightly down. So you'll notice they'll be ever so slightly slanted down in comparison to the aircraft being straight on the tarmac. But it's because in cruise they're actually level with the airflow. The aircraft does tend to sit slightly up. METAR Jacksonville. Thanks, Badger. Variable at 4 knots for the weather. Nice. 10 statute miles visibility. Clear skies, 22 degrees. Temperature's going up. Dew point 11, altimeter 3012. (2012), 22 degrees. Variable at 4. I'm just making a note of that on my notepad. Yeah, the rest of it I don't need to worry about. So, Bosch. That's our routing for today. We're now going direct from IIU straight down to Lorne. From there, joining another airway towards Jacksonville for this fly too high scenery. So we're going to be doing the Odeya 1 arrival with the transition of Finney. If we go into the charts here, we look at the weather, we can see there winds variable at 4 knots, as Badger had said, showed us on the charts a moment ago in the live chat with the METAR command. And the ATIS, the real ATIS, is here, which is also really cool. So if you don't want to go to that datis.cloud website and you've got a Navigraph Ultimate subscription, you can go in here and have a little look. So we've got the VATSIM ATIS if we had a controller online, or Pilot Edge. But in the States we have real world ATIS, which is cool. So departures on 0814, arrivals on 08. And by clicking it, it pinpoints it for us. Look, so it goes, that one there is 08. ATIS information, Delta 3012, visual approach runway 8 in use. And the Odeya 1 arrival. So coming in from Finney, that's our transition. Down to ILTAC between 190 and 240 flight levels at 280 knots. Continuing our descent then through 10,000 at Form B, passing Odeya, into Kipple 7,000, and then we're going to head 151 degrees to C dot, just there. And then expect radar vectors to RNAV or visual approach as assigned by ATC. So we'll follow the real world ATIS today, and we will just set ourselves up from 3,000 feet for a visual approach. And actually, what I might do, just something a bit different, I might, at this point, turn the auto throttle off and turn the autopilot off and hand fly the jet all the way in. Or I'll just turn the autopilot off and I'll keep auto thrust in for a little while, because you can do that in this Dreamliner. You can leave that on until touchdown actually as well, to be fair. So I'm very tempted to turn the autopilot off and hand fly, pitch and roll yaw towards final approach ourselves. So for that we can go to the charts, approach charts. Runway 08 is what we want, which is the one at the top. A couple of ILS approaches there. Or we've got the RNAV Yankee. There's no charts for runway unspecified here, interestingly. Is it C dot? So that would then follow us onto the RNAV Yankee if we were flying the RNAV approach. Which is the only applicable approach for that then, really. So we'll program for the RNAV Yankee, and that's so that we have a missed approach in there as well, just to make things a bit simple for us on Unicom. And but then we'll hand fly it in. So RNAV Yankee 08 transition C dot, and we want that Odea 1 Finny transition execute legs. So we haven't got massive distance to Finny, look, have we? Top of descent just coming into view now, finally. Full tack for Medea Kipple Kitso C dot. And then it would be a discontinuity, but it's not. It's given us a track line towards the runway, followed by the missed approach there. And we've done our descent forecasts already. Fix rings, runway 08, doesn't let me put it in here, no. Cool, well, we can't even tune any VORs, so I won't bother with a fix ring. Because the nearest VOR is at Jackson Executive. Tricky says I usually just auto land, not gonna lie. Yeah, well, keep trying, keep trying. You've got to think about what the aircraft is doing, but you've also got to bear in mind the inertia too. So the smaller jets, you'll make a change with pitch or roll, and you'll find that it will take less effort and energy to actually have the effect on the aircraft. But then you've got a big aircraft like the 787-9 that we're using today, and you've got to think about inertia, same with the 747-8 too. So when you command, like say for example a left roll with a little bit of left aileron, it might take a bit of energy before the actual aircraft starts to move left, if that makes sense. So you might roll the aeroplane left, and it might take about 2 or 3 seconds before you notice the aeroplane is actually starting to change heading. Whereas in an A319, that time would be a lot shorter. RNAV Yankee 08, we're going to go for decision altitude of 426. Come on, keep scrolling. 4, 2, 6. Bingo. Flap 30 is what we're going to have, and we've also got the weather ready. And that was altimeter 3012. So that's set ready in the box there as well. And then we need our planned landing weight, which is estimated at 163.7 ton. Ah, gross weight. Doesn't make any sense. Alright, well, we're going for flat 30, so we'll select that. So winds are calm, but predominantly we are getting a slight tailwind, although now actually it's changed. It's 4 knot crosswind, 1 knot headwind arriving 08, so that would be fine. RNAV Yankee 08, transition, final. Just do that. Yeah, there we go, perfect, that'll do. When we reach T/D Jack. Hello Azon, welcome. We are doing Mach decimal 89 though, so we are absolutely zooming along now. Where's Carlito gone? Getting towards that warm Florida air now, so I think the contrails have disappeared. We've almost caught Badger up, that's how quick we've been flying today. Arco, no. Somebody was saying the other day the last time any of their developers were on their own forums was in 2021. so I think that says it all really. They gave it all the big chirps, didn't they, initially? Yeah, we're going to release it in June 2021, that's what they said. And then June came and went without a little peep. Not even Dicky Bow peep. See, even Loki's angry at quality wings. Oh, okay. Crikey, I've got 20 miles ahead of you, Carlito, already. Zooming along. I wonder what the crack is with the weights, because it's all a bit weird. The gross weight's 152, but that's 10 tons less than what we're meant to be. So it doesn't really make sense. Is it not inputting the weight data correctly? I don't know. We've got LNAV, VNAV. What's our descent speed? 844, 261. Change that just so we go a bit quicker for the descent. Yeah, I think so, Arca. I think they will. What they've managed to do with this so far, I personally have been incredibly impressed with. I think it's really good. I've got the Horizon Simulations cockpit weather texture add-on in it as well, so you get like a slight weathered effect on the jet. A couple of the high def textures and things as well. I think this is a fantastic freeware package. Blind Panda, notice the same thing with the weights. Now I just re-enter. Usually we enter the zero fuel weight manually, plus 1 kilo, and it seems to update everywhere. Weird. Michael's made the switch as well. I think Zato has too. Made the switch to Microsoft Flight Simulator and has uninstalled X-Plane. Have you done the same, Michael? Morning to you. Take care, Tricky. We've still got a little way to go to top of descent, 160, so looking at 240 or so nautical miles to top of descent there. And then working our way down into Jacksonville. So it's still like 20-30 minutes to go before we reach our top of descent, but we've got ahead of ourselves and all prepped and ready. What we also should really do, we talk about it all the time on the streams, don't we? So we're not only just going to apply the visual approach here, we've got to plan about what we're going to do when we get the wheels on the runway. So runway 08, we touch down there, it's 10,000 feet long, and auto brake 3 was what we were going to use with full reverse. So I'm not sure how quickly we will decelerate because it is hard to tell. There isn't a specific performance calculator for this 787-9 sadly, but if I get off at hotel, it's going to blow my mind. I'm expecting to vacate at Gulf, which is a slight high-speed exit. So there'll be a yellow line here feeding us off, allowing us to carry a bit more speed onto this exit here as we scrub it off, a bit of brakes down to a nice slow speed to turn into this tighter bit here, and then we're going to vacate right from Gulf onto Alpha, left hotel, and then into the terminal area to park here. And there you go, that's something else we talk about all the time, and it's actually written in the charts here. So all aircraft with wingspan greater than 36 meters must perform judgmental oversteering instead of cockpit over centerline steering when taxiing. A small portion of the terminal ramp not visible from the tower unable to determine if the ramp area is clear. So some special conditions for that. Airport closed to aircraft wingspan more than 52 meters, except 6 hour PPR. And there's the parking stands there. So I'm going to guess that Alpha 1 is going to be suitable for us. Oh no, Alpha 3 and Alpha 7 and Alpha 9 and Alpha 8 probably for the heavies. Hard to tell though until we get there. No GSX profile to help us either. Ooh. Back 14 cable raised for tailhook engagements by tower on pilot request only. 1,537 feet from approach, end runway 8 and 1612 from approach, end runway 12. It's 26, so it's that one. Where is it? 12, 8 and 26. Yeah, so that one. And that one then, I guess. Oh, cool. Have we got any other reference charts here? No. Little bit of mist down there, look. That's really stunning, isn't it? Television saying, have you experienced complete loss of power with the engines on the ground? I'm so paranoid by this bug, I keep the APU on until 30,000 feet because it made me have to disconnect from VATSIM 3 times. I've never experienced that, no. If you've got something like the heavy division 787 installed, then you need to delete that. If you've got any other mods for the 787, you've got to delete those as well. So that might be an issue for you, I'm not sure. But it depends on what you're clicking and doing as well, to be fair, because if you're following the checklists inside here, if you click CHKL there, it will bring you the checklists on the screen. If you work through those, that should help you. A couple of steps that are easily forgotten, but otherwise you need to make sure you've got the battery on, the AP generators are on, and all that sort of thing as well. Same with hydraulics, they've all got to be on automatic. Fuel pumps need to be set correctly. Your bleeds, as in the packs, need to be on automatic as well. Sorry for the air conditioning. So you've got to set the airplane up properly in order to kind of fly it nicely, if that makes sense. Otherwise you will come across issues. I don't think it's necessarily a bug. Those sorts of things tend to be down to like user error. A little bit of wing flex. I don't think that I'm going to make my trip to the butcher's today to pick up some meat. Miles ramp to the top of descent. But you're further back than I thought. I reckon you can ramp her up to Mach 8.9 EC, unless you've miscalculated your fuel, in which case, whoops. When's sunset here? Oh, half 4 I think. Still 160 nautical miles to top of descent. What time are we due in to JAX? 16:32, so sunset in the UK actually, that is. At least where I live at the moment, I think, roughly around 16:30. I'll have to take the woofer out for a spin round the block. I'm going to show you guys the test that I'm doing tomorrow. Where is it? Is it a left? Coordinates to left, coordinates to the right, multi-purpose test centre. This is what I'm doing tomorrow. So, let's see. I haven't even practiced it, so I don't even know how it's going to go. But basically you start with number 1, so stands and manual handling, which is down there at the green zone, which is just there. And you have to, so basically I'll ride the motorbike into one of these bays, so like this one here, and then I have to get off it, lift it up, kick the stand up, and then I have to push it backwards and round from between those 2 cones to begin with, around where it says 1 at the start, backwards to this one here, facing out towards 2. And then I jump on the bike, start it up, do lifesaver checks, and then I do the slalom at slow speed. No practice ramp. That's the craziness. They'll kind of tell you which bit, what to do at each bit. So I go forwards, and I have to go round this slalom in 2. If I touch a cone, knock a cone over, or put my foot down at any point, it's an automatic fail. So I go from 2 with the slalom, round the cones, straight in then between the 2 cones that are blue, and I start to do figure of 8s until the instructor tells me to stop. And when he is happy that I'm good at the figure of 8s and puts his hand up to wave me over, I then go over to number 4. So I follow the dashed yellow line, then cross, keep in to the left of that blue cone. I go down here to number 7. And I have to stop with my front wheel in between those 4 blue cones. And then when I'm ready for the U-turn, I have to do lifesaver checks, start riding along the edge of this blue line here, which is technically the curb. The white lines there are the curbs. I have to then do the U-turn as like a right turn, like it's shown there. And then I go all the way down towards the end. So I go across here, and then I have to come through the set of cones over here to number 6. It's intense, isn't it? To number 6, which is then a cornering test. So I then ride at, I think, 31 miles an hour. I can't remember. Well, 6 is cornering anyway. So we're going round, keeping inside the red cones all the way down, in between those 2 little cones. In between a speed trap where they assess my speed, and I think it has to be 21 or 31 miles an hour precisely, otherwise you get a minor. And then cornering 6, 7's a controlled stop. Yeah, so I keep going all the way through the cones, back up to those little blue cones there for number 7, which is where I have to then stop with my wheels in between the blue, so the front wheel in between the blue cones. From there, I then have to do, I don't know if it's another U-turn, I think it is another U-turn. So I have to do a little U-turn back round towards number 8. So I'll go across through the cones up to 8, which is then precisely a 19 mile per hour circuit ride, and there's a speed trap. There you go, there's the speeds. So the circuit ride for 8 is the same, all the way round and across. Through the speed trap, which is the 2 red and yellow cones there. 9, 8, 9 is the emergency circuit. Right, got it. Yeah. So then, and then I'll reset again. So we go back round, stopping in blue cones, back round again, all the way up to where it says 8. And this time I have to go round the bend. As I'm leveling off, I then have to accelerate rapidly through these 2 red cones here, across to 9, where the instructor will put his hand up, and I have to then do a controlled emergency stop. And then I go back round to number 10, and this time it's the 19 mile an hour circuit ride again, but with the 32 mile an hour avoidance. So round the circuit at 10. Green line, and then I have to be precisely at 19 miles an hour when I go through these speed trap cones, and then I have to swerve rapidly around that red cone between the 2 blue cones, and then back to front wheels stopping in 7 there. It's intense, isn't it? That's hard work. and there's all these prescribed things about where the cones and the measurements are, and all this sort of thing. It just seems so confusing. But that's the directional circuit. I'm doing the left circuit tomorrow. Yeah, I get lost on the taxiway in Flight Sim. I've got I've got no hope trying to do that. One after the next after the next. Apparently it's all done in 10 minutes, but it's just one after the next, bang, 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 next. But if you put your foot down at any point beyond doing a controlled stop, you fail. If you touch a cone or knock a cone over, even if it's a cone that you're not actually avoiding for the little bit that you're doing, if you knock any cones, what the hell? Overspeed. If you knock any cones, then that's it. You failed. You're done. Oh dear, I pressed self-loading cargo by accident. How do I close that? Ah, chaffing it. Close window. There you go. Get out. I'm hoping I'll be okay. I'm hoping I'll be okay. It's the U-turn that I'm most nervous about. The rest of it's steering, and I'm quite comfortable with that. I'm quite comfortable with getting the motorcycle to speed quite quick as well, because the Trident is so nice to ride, and it's so confidence inspiring, and it's so stable and smooth with the power. The brakes are quite good as well. I think they're Nissin 4-pots, so they're pretty good brakes. You just don't know, do you? Because on the day you might have a bit of a brain fart and accidentally put your foot down, or you just have a little bit of a wobble and you just clip a curb with the edge of your foot, and if that cone moves even by a millimetre and the instructor sees, major fail, done, and your test is done. That's it. And then it sets back the rest of my direct access course through the rest of November then, because I'll have to then delay the rest of the course in order to do a resit next week. Rab says when his brother did his test, the examiner stood in a school playground, watched him circle the school and said, "Well done, it's a pass." That's mad. Aventador, welcome aboard. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for subscribing. Keep smashing the like button, folks, if you are enjoying today's journey from Winnipeg to Jacksonville. As a reminder as well, the links to the scenery are in the description down below, so if you do want to get your hands on either the really nice fsimstudios Winnipeg via Contrail, then you can click the link there in the live stream description. It'll take you straight there. And similarly, on the Innerbuild store, I've put a link in the description for Fly 2's Jacksonville that we're about to arrive and have a little look at in a short while. No leeway at all, Badger. No, you can get minors for other things. So if your speed's either too fast or too slow at specific bits, then you can get minors for those. I think most people end up getting 1 or 2 minors. Can you next time fly with the 777? No, basically, because when the only 777s available at the moment are the really shitty Captain Sim products, and they're disgracefully bad. So I'm not touching those with a barge pole. I'll be waiting basically for PMDG's 777. MPS Gaming, yeah, you can't. It doesn't work for me either. You can write KJAX, or maybe let's go fix. In fact, let's go. Let's see if this works. No. Do you do like KJAX and you can do 8 miles, for example, there, like that, and put fix ring in? That's one way to do it. No PMDG 777 in Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. Flightline, it's hard to get your head around, isn't it? Where I was looking through the document the other day, I was just like, I don't understand what any of this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. Andy said he passed his motorbike test in 1987, nearly failed on the second part. The examiner stepped out in front of me for the emergency stop. The front brake failed and I had to swerve to avoid him. My goodness. That's one way to pass or fail, isn't it? You passed because you didn't run him over. Good effort. Because I'm getting excited now. I'm getting quite excited for the thought of eventually being able to ride my own motorcycle. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a very arbitrary test. In fact, that reminds me, I need to dig out my documents. So for your tests, you have to make sure that that you basically set up. You have to take all your certificates with you. So your theory test pass, your CBT pass certificate, your driving license. You have to have that all of that on with you at the time when you turn up for your Mod 1 test. And then once you've done that, you get a Mod 1 certificate. And for your Mod 2 test, you have to take all of the previous certificates plus your Mod 1 certificate with you to your Mod 2 test. And if you forget a single document, they cancel the test. How do you choose between? How do you know how to choose between radio or baro for minimums? It just depends what you're doing, really. If I'm doing a Cat 2 ILS or a Cat 3 ILS, I'll flick it across into radio. If I'm not, I'll just leave it on baro. But it depends on what the charts say, really. Talking of crazy, Andy says he saw an F-16 on a VATSIM event last night, running from Mexico City to Atlanta. Couldn't quite believe it. What the heck? That's madness. Order brake 3 is what we were going for, wasn't it? So we'll set that. Order brake 3 is set and checked. VREP is set. Baro set for our minimums. Local pressure in Jacksonville 3012 is set. Let's finally check the METAR one last time in the live chat for KJAX. The blue line there on the nav display is all of our missed approach procedure. All of that gump, and then the little green ring, that's our fixed ring of 8 miles we've put around the airport too. 3012 is still the same. Aventador says, guys, they impounded my bike last May because it was too loud, and yesterday I've seen about it in television as they were filming a documentary about street races in Germany. Wow. So you ended up on the TV show. We have laws like that in the UK as well, to be fair. Exhausts that are too loud are illegal. For good reason as well, to be fair, because I don't understand why the bikes need to be absolute screamers. So I've got on my bike a nice Arrow exhaust. The stock exhaust for the Tiger 900 is lovely anyway, but even the Arrow exhaust isn't really that loud. It just sounds smooth with a little bit of bassy hum to it. Yeah, that's all they do. They take the cans off to pass the MOT and then put them back on. Yeah. There you go, Matthew there saying Cat 2 or 3 radio, all else baro. Except for some very rare Cat 1 approaches that use rad out. When am I going to get Lego Concorde MPS Gaming? I don't know. I'm very tempted by it. Very, very tempted by it. Right. Let's go back to normal speed. FMS speed. Little message there for FMS. Reset MCP altitude. Let's scroll her down, ready for top of descent. And we'll go for, it was 3000, wasn't it? We'll aim for a continuous descent all the way down. And I'll just leave it in LNAV and VNAV to help the descent, which is why I've also then gone back to VNAV speed. Ian, so it depends on age with that, and that's more of a recent thing really. So because I'm over 25, I can do my CBT, which is riding the little Razzie mopeds, and immediately go onto the direct access, which allows me to have an unrestricted motorcycle license to ride anything. So if I wanted to, I could go out and get a Triumph Rocket 3, which has got a 2,500cc engine in it, when I pass my Mod 2. But because I've got a brain, I wouldn't do that. But you could if you really wanted to. But if you're age 24 or under, you get an A1 category license, I think it is. I'm trying to remember it now. You get an A1 category license, which then restricts you to a certain CC. Or A2 category license, I think, actually. Mikael, hello buddy. Been with us for 26 whopping months. Good afternoon. Finally back from working time for the butter. Ian says you have to go up in steps down here in Australia regardless of age. Interesting. I mean, here there's a bit of an emphasis on once you complete your Mod 2 and you get your full license, they recommend that you complete further driver training, like bike safe, advanced rider training, that kind of thing that teaches you some really good vital skills to stay safe and ride defensively on the road. There we go, VNAV speed, bit of an aggressive pitch down. What the hell? Where's my vertical speed? That was an awful pitch down, that's the worst I've seen in this. And now we've got a G-force range log put in bloody new sky. Why are we doing over 4,000 foot per minute? That's actually stupid. And now look, VNAV path, we've absolutely bust it. Stupid plane. That is the worst descent I've seen in this. Andy says when he passed his bike test he went straight from a 125 to a 750. Yeah, I've got an 888. I've not experienced that behaviour in this aircraft before. With the fair few flights that we've done in it, that was really messy, wasn't it? See, 4,000 foot per minute isn't too wild in itself at Ventnor, but it's more the manner in which it went to actually achieve that. It's just stupid. I'm going to set 190 now, just because I'm in VNAV. I've ditched VNAV because I don't trust it. Oh, hello. Who's he? Got him visual. There. Weather, ATIS, Echo, QNH 3011, or altimeter 3011, let's just update that. Yeah, it's not so much the issue with the 4,000 foot per minute rate of descent of Ventnor, it's more the way that it transitioned into it. It was just when thrust idle, pitch down, bam, nose forwards. In quite an aggressive change of pitch, which is nasty. What it should have really done is just gradually moved its nose down with top of the set. I mean, I could have maybe prevented that by going into the FMS, go to VNAV, and then commanding it to descend now, 5-10 miles prior to reaching top of descent. You see what it does now if we go back to VNAV. It's very snappy, isn't it? Alright, we'll monitor it, like an absolute ruddy hawk. We'll set 3,000 again. Now 3,500's fine, Ventnor, really. Certainly the higher altitudes as well, but it depends on the speeds you were trying to achieve too. Don't forget the Dreamliner is a very slippy aeroplane, so we're going to have to use a little bit of speed brake to flight detent or whatever to try and help it slow down. We'll manage the energy of the aeroplane. Apparently we've got 98 miles to go. It's settled down now, it seems. We'll just keep an eye as we pass this next constraint. It might, or approach that constraint there, it might do something a bit rogue, so we'll just keep an eye on it. If we think it's going to pitch down and do something stupid, so we'll just have to smash that vertical speed button there, which is why I'm not leaving the flight deck view just yet. Still got quite a few miles yet, so I'll be tempted to transmit to say we're now entering the star, but the star's so long here at Jacksonville, I think I'll wait till Kipple, and then I'll just do an inbound call there when we're about maybe 30 miles or so from touchdown. It's probably the most reasonable thing to do. So this thinks it's on the path nicely, and it's in the speed zone nicely too. Set 6 actually. Brighten that up a little bit. Correct, yeah. QNH is a measurement of the air pressure at the airfield. You get two readings, either inches of mercury or hectopascals, depending on where you are in the world. Seven miles, so probably going to be near to about 20,000 feet, so that's fine. Flight level 190 is the lowest point of the range here for it'll tack. Pretty much tricky, yeah. A couple of other places in in Asia as well, they use inches of mercury. Oh, it's going to be a nighttime doggy walk, I think. It's going dark real quick. Okay, good. So this is looking alright. We're looking on profile here. So we'll just leave 3000 set for the continuous approach. We want to be level there at C dot, which is just there, the edge of that 8-mile fixed ring. And then what do you reckon, folks? Yes or no? Shall we turn the autopilot off and hand fly it? It's a visual approach 08 on the real ATIS. You can read the real ATIS on the left hand side of the charts there on the screen. Departure 0814, arrival 08. It's information Echo. Winds 340 at 4 knots. 10 statute miles visibility, skies clear, 24 degrees temperature, dew point +9, altimeter 3011. Visual approach, runway 8 in use, landing and departing runway 8 and runway 14. Caution birds near airport. Matthew says click it off now. I mean, you do, don't you? Yeah, when you're flying in real life, you often just kind of turn them off. Might have my work cut out for me if I turn it off now. I'm tempted. Vinny. Iltac. 39. $60, $70. That's 80 miles to fly. Alright, let's do it. But I will end up having to focus a lot, so the chat from me might wear off a little bit. You'll have to forgive me if it does, because I think a bit of poo might come out if things get a bit twitchy here. That looks remarkably cool, look at that. Really nice. Right, let's just see where we're at. So we'll go to from standard pressure to local. We want the what's the switch of 1020, lovely. So one thing they've not done is activate that button there to flick into inches of mercury for scenarios like this. Right, so 151, 30, 135, that's fine, so we'll leave that the same, wind correction +5. So I'll leave that page up, and I'll leave legs up as well on FMS2. 3000, and our heading bug, let's get that in line. Slight crosswind, so what have we got? Lights, they're all set. Logo wing, icing as required. I'm just doing a few little bits before I massively increase my workload. My throttles, where are they? They're about 37. My controls. So, full manual flight now. So I'm guessing we're just kind of flying to the flight directors then. I'm going to pop the speed bug on here just to give me a little bit of a helping hand with that. Form B, no speed restrictions, Kipple at 250. Just idle the engines, aeroplane, come on. Tiny little changes here. In fact, really, I'm just kind of dropping the trim a little notch just to kind of help manage the speed. But very tiny movements, really. Very tiny, just gentle adjustments of the aeroplane in pitch. Need a pop-up to be like, I'm in manual flight. Do not disturb. Let's bring that range ring in. So Kipling 15, speed's just trickling off a little bit. So actually we're a little bit below the path. Let's just bring the nose up gently. I'm just going to sort the trim out accordingly to hold that for us. So the speed will then drip away. I'm in the star now, Tricky Chips. It's just a really long star. So Where are we? We're all the way over here. That's where I've turned the autopilot and auto thrust off. So we've got to fly all of this and then fly the visual approach. Jacksonville traffic, Osprey 165 heavy. He's got information Echo on board, altimeter 3011. Currently 12,000 feet, descending on the Odeya 1 arrival, expecting visual approach, runway 08 Jacksonville. We'll report CEDOT. Following the flight director. Got our first left turn in manual flight from this altitude in the 787. It's interesting to test this in manual flight, actually, to be fair. Bit of a test of my ability, but also of the aircraft's. Kipple between 11,000 and 7,000 at or above. So we're going to be within that. A little bit of turbulence here, actually. It's bobbing us about somewhat. The speed was below 250, so I'm going to bring the throttles off. I'm just going to sort pitch and trim. Through 10,000 shortly, so let's, while I can, get all of those on. We'll leave logo. I'll put the wing on, why not? There goes the speed. So next one's Maka 230. Although Maka's not on here. CEDOT 210. I'll put 230 there anyway, just as a marker for us. Yeah, that's it. Just tiny little bits of pressure on the yoke I'm finding is actually making quite big adjustments on the aircraft. What's interesting is because I'm decelerating as well, it's transient, isn't it? It's the aeroplane's rate of descent, and what I need to be doing is changing all the time. So I can't just set a trim and leave it at that. I've got to kind of be working the yoke a fair bit. In fact, I don't know if you'd be interested then, folks. I'll put the control visualizer on just so you can see how small these movements are on the screen for you guys. And I'm not even looking outside. I'm literally staring at this. Don't really need to be staring at anything else, do I? Let's get a little bit of power in just to cement our 230. Minimum clean is at 215 there, 217 knots, so we don't want to go below that without extending flaps. Kit's so between 5 and 6. So the VNAV path wants us to do something slightly different, look. But we're not massively out of range with that. We're actually holding it fairly well. But basically, that's good to know, Matthew, because that's pretty much what I feel like all I'm doing at the moment. Little bits of trim, like a lot of trim, but tiny bits of pressure adjustments on the stick, just to kind of hold the pitch. And it's turbulent as well. It's bobbing us around all over the place. So I think I've got it set fairly nicely though. There's the VNAV though coming to greet us. So we'll continue a little bit of forward pressure, nose down. Kitso 230 CEDOT is next at 210.
For inbound for the RNAV.
Just idle the throttle a little bit because the speed's increased a little bit there.
We'll report short sign. Jacksonville traffic.
Oh, I'm not going for butter. Tricky, I never do. I go for accuracy. Little stutters there from something, not sure what. But again, retrimming just to settle the aeroplane into a nice pitch. Having to kind of set it through the turbulence to find what the mean is, but clicking a lot on the trim. That's quite turbulent, isn't it? What have we got up here? Lights and signs. Cabin advised. Crew, that would be cabin secure. Anti-ice as required. Fuel's good, 7 tons on board, so plenty, plus our diversion fuels, FinRes plus alternate. No, tricky, it's fine. These are the kind of opportunities where you're testing your ability quite significantly in this. A little bit of power. I'm trying to hold minimum clean for as long as I can, just to keep it efficient. But Kitso 230, Sedot at 210 is coming up, so let's bring the range ring in once more. Ooh. About 5 minutes to landing, folks, I think. Interesting to see what new sky score I get from this as well. And I'm curious to hear what Matthew will think at the end, because he's a real pilot and he does this kind of stuff in real life regularly. 210, we're there. Let's wind it back to 180 for our next target. Oh, that's bumpy. Oh yeah, letting the speed trickle down. Sedot at 210 knots, 3,000 feet. So that's what we're targeting at the moment. He's flown loads, tricky. Initially CRJs, I think, wasn't it, Matthew? And a little while on the 767-300 from memory, and now you're on the A320 family, I think, aren't you? Oh, I've plugged an RNAV in, Matthew, today. One to go. It's pointless really looking outside. As much as I really want to, I can kind of look outside. If I turn the Tobii eye tracker on, it shows you how much turbulence at bits there is, because my head kind of ends up bobbing around a lot. This is quite tough with the Tobii eye tracker, to be fair. Maybe it'll be really useful though. Let's try it out. So flaps currently 5 and green, auto brake is set, all the rest is checked, approach is briefed. I'm going to turn that off because it does do odd things at times and it makes it a bit difficult. Oh, Christopher, no, basically just dared to do it, that's all. Jacksonville traffic Osprey 165 Heavy is passing CDOT's 3,000 feet inbound for the visual approach runway 08. Will report final Jacksonville. 077 for runway heading. Pause the music, it's getting distracting, and it's intense focus time. Flaps 10, speed 180. 180! I have to turn the flight directors off, I think, at this point as well. Unless I recycle them, what will happen? Not very much. Altitude alert. There. This is intense. Chuffing egg. Get down. This is a steep approach, my goodness. That's the runway. Woo-hoo-hoo! Flaps 18. Okay, Tobii Eye Track is coming into its own now. Speeds coming down through 160, flaps 25. There's the centre line. Trying to draw a visual line through the aeroplane to align it nicely with the runway. Speeds 152, flaps 30. Jacksonville traffic, Osprey 165, short final visual 08, Jacksonville. Speeds at ref. Power. Ah, wrong command, that's why. I had set speed brake armed, but I'd set the wrong I had the wrong keybind set. Good spot, thank you very much. Smooth, Luke. Let's do this. Okay, gear down and green. Flaps 30 green. Water brake is set. Speed brakes arms. Cabin is secure as well. Ooh, oh, what the chuffing heck happened there? I actually don't know what happened there. That was horrible. That's thrown us right out. I hope that hasn't thrown us off on the score. Okay, let's get our flow back. Bit of speed again. Bit of power. Oh, it's almost like we've got a crosswind. Yeah, we have. 7 knots. That's just come in. Continue. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's a lot of sink. Got it back. Interesting crosswind. Looking ahead.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Holding the flare. Ooh. Come on, girl. That was a weird touchdown behaviour, wasn't it? Okay, my brakes. Not sure. The tail kind of, well, the nose lifted on touchdown there weirdly. I'm not sure if that's caused a tail strike. I hope not. There's only one way to find out. Welcome to Fly Too High's Jacksonville Airport, folks. Jacksonville traffic. Osprey 165 is vacated 08. Taxi into the apron. No flap actuator noises. Strobes are off, taxi lights are on, that's all good, that's all set. GA ramp to your left, yeah, good spot.
Jacksonville traffic, Osprey 784.
Gotta pick a stand.
7 nautical miles out.
Good job, hope you enjoyed it and gained some confidence in your own abilities, Matthew says. Yeah, it was fun. It definitely gave us something more to think about, that's for sure. A bit tough here for the selection of a ramp. We'll go for 3A?
The chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah, it'll be alright though, won't it? Menzies. Oh, chuffing heck. Missed me turn. Perhaps getting vectored in. 237 for the touchdown rate there. Look, 1.19 G, so actually really quite smooth. No bounces apparently. If we zoom in on the map, slightly off the centre line there, but in the touchdown zone. So I'll take that. That is Carlito, I believe, on the visual approach as well. See him sweeping in on short final. Quite an exciting approach that. It came up on us quick. That America still does aviation the old school way, which is just really exciting. If you don't often fly the visual approaches, folks, and you don't often fly approaches that result in you hand flying the aeroplane, do it. We just come off here off the speed because we're going left down here. Let's see if I can just come to a stop quick. Here he comes. He's in the 737-800. Yeah, I think towards the end of that approach, a little bit too high. That weird stutter on final though, that really threw me off. You're just kind of getting in the flow and everything seemed to be coming in quite nicely, and then that weird freeze that we had. And when that freeze recovered, the whole aeroplane just wanted to fall out the sky. Yeah, we learn a lot from Matthew in the live chat. I'm grateful for him sharing his knowledge. Looking good. Looking good. Oh! He's going around.
Jacksonville, Oscar 74 going around.
Just at the end of the touchdown zone there. Oh. Matthew says that's what happened with the Asiana crash a decade or so ago. I remember that. They were so used to being vectored onto ILSs that when they faced a visual approach with no pappies that day, they had issues. That's quite a significant skills fade, isn't it? Where's Alpha 3? Why has the taxiway ended? There's Alpha 3. Do they actually heel toe? That's fantastic if that's the case. Ooh, there's moving people in there. Following the marshal's guidance. I'll stop when she tells me to stop, but I'll probably get told off for parking too askew. I'm following all of her commands. I'm going to stop before I run into the tug. Let's see what happens, so just keep going. Definitely in the tug. Almost in the bloody terminal building. Oh no, fair enough. Dropping neck, can't see a bloody thing. Still telling me to come forwards. There we are. That's not... I mean, it's on the line, but I suppose there's no custom GSX profile for this. It is a little bit wishy-washy, but that is a spot for a 757-200, which is probably the biggest aircraft that can go in here, isn't it? And there we come. Here we come with our 787 that's almost the length of the terminal building. Right, bloody Osprey Airways. Right, where are we at? Okay, that's all good. Kill the engines. That noise. Granted, we're starting to go that way over here. A certain airline, 2 words for a reason, prohibits their pilots from hand flying when in IMC, which is not good in the long run. Ah. Interesting. I suppose they would just say, well, that's safety. But again, it's skills degradation, I guess. I suppose it's similar to Lufthansa when they turn the auto thrust off on the Airbus on finals, and they manage the throttle themselves. I suppose to keep their hand in, I guess. Whereas other airlines go the other way and say, well, the automation is there to assist you maintaining safety in flight, so use it, I suppose. It's hard to kind of decide who's right and who's not. They're both right, I guess. Request deboarding. Beacon off. Let's see New Sky, folks. Let's see what our score was for a hand-flown star and approach. We off centerline landing, but a great touchdown. I'll take that. This is our manually flown bit. Zoom in, have a little look, see what our sit rep is. So, altimeter, landing lights. Yeah, so we turn the autopilot off around here, and then we've hand flew what looks like a very stable approach, actually. Pretty cool. We should do more of those.
Passengers deboarding started.
I think. Hand flown approaches. Matthew says, glad my company puts absolutely no limits on hand flying. In fact, they encourage it. Quite refreshing to hear. Oh, that's not very good. Oh well. Let's have a look around the airport then while we wait for Carlito to vector in. Delta Tango says, I admit I often fly with the airline, my name in it, Delta Airline, but that wasn't where my scream name came from. I like that airlines want pilots to do more hand flying. Ooh, look at this, Fly 2's interior of Jacksonville. Snazzy. Couple of animated people. Let's pop the time to night to see what it does. Interior lighting as well, very nice. Let's leave it set to like sunset. Oh, where'd she go? Scary face. Just a big old curved thing, isn't it? We flew to Tel Aviv recently, a little while ago. I can't remember exactly when, but we have done that recently, Tel Aviv. I've still got a little bit of a backlog of airport sceneries that I haven't yet reviewed, so I have to work through a lot of those as well to keep developers happy. They put a lot of work into their scenery. They want it kind of displayed, and they want people's thoughts on via live streams and things like that. Oh, the rest is the same going all the way up there, isn't it, really? So let's punch it back out again. That southwest is off. I wonder what's in here. This is the main like departures lounge. Ah, nothing. Ah, that's the forecourt and the departures area. Good to hear, Matthew. But from what I was reading, this was Fly 2's best airport scenery so far. Delta Tango says, thank you for showing this airport off. All of my childhood we would fly Boston to Jacksonville to see my grandparents in the winter. That's awesome. So this is the scenery you have to buy then, yourself, because of that attachment, the emotional attachment to it, and the memories and things like that associated with it. And that's another angle that's quite nice with Flight Sim, because you can replicate all of those memories growing up and visit different airports. Bit of a messy texture set there, look. That's quite shoddy and a bit rough, and I don't know what the hell's going on there. Oh, it's a tree. It's a bit shoddy looking, isn't it? That bit there and that tree there. That's the hell. It's like making my eyes go funny. No forecourt interior though, by the looks of it. Or departures interior, rather. Fishkin's Fitness, hello buddy. We've got a big old car park. What else do we have? A couple of hotels and bits as well. So what I'll do is I'll turn this up. We'll zip around a bit quicker. We're still glad you've enjoyed the live stream. Ah, like that, yeah? Car park's lovely with the texturing work there, really nice. Let's have a look at the cargo area, which is over here, I think, isn't it? A few little bits to look at. A masking issue there. Nothing major though, let's face it, that's not the sort of thing I'm too bothered about. You don't notice it really, do you? Oh, that's weird. Look on the right hand side of the screen. See that? Odd. Embraer hangers. This, I assume, is the cargo UPS facility. There's no branding on it. 350 Smooth wishes the scenery had more ground clutter at the gates. I think the problem there would be the fact that if they did, then when you go for GSX, when you look at a GSX profile, what it'll end up doing is clashing with all of the bits on GSX. So you don't really want that to happen. What else do we have? Got a buzzer crossover here now, don't we?
Do you want to deboard crew?
Oh. Touchdown to 08. Well, we've just come from over there, haven't we? So let's go over there. Dangerous area. 08. That one there, isn't it? Oh, that's 3-2. Ah, yes. It's going to be that. Let's have a look. Jeez, that's cavernous. What's happened there? It's a bit messy, that, isn't it? Very angular. Doesn't look like there's any F-15s or anything there, or yeah. That would have been quite a cool touch, wouldn't it? Florida Air National Guard there. Lots of parking space for your F-15s though, if you like to blast around in jets in the sim. Send those bits over there, those hangars. Can't see any dotted around.
Jacksonville traffic, Osprey 784 established on the ILS for runway 18, for runway 08, Jacksonville traffic.
Oh look. That's pretty cool. Some little ones, little statics, ornamental. The display planes made it, yep. Some nice little details in the scenery. Right, Carlito's on final. Where's the runway? There. Southwest is waiting. Oh, the textures are really nice, isn't it? Look at that. Very impressive. And if we just briefly look across at the whole airport and we go to night time, just from a distance, that's the external lighting. Green lights there, the de-icer zones. Little Southwest waiting to go. That's messy. Put a big wall in there. The heck is that? They're the little things that you can't unsee once you've seen it. Here he comes. Make sure if you haven't already done so, you hit like. And if you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you chose to subscribe as well. This is Carlito, I think, isn't it, coming in? Yeah, Osprey 784, wicked. Probably won't be able to wait for the others. I've spotted Delta Tango quite far behind. He's out of Minneapolis, I think, for Jacksonville, which is quite cool. Yeah, the RNAV looked like it was pretty good. When we had the flight directors on, I could see that they were still trying to kind of manage and give us guidance there. It was on the flight directors, but... Oh, that's the arrestor cable. Look. It obviously doesn't work, but it's nice to see that that's made a feature inside the scenery. This is looking quite nice and stable. Good on profile. Tricky trips, no worries. Ah, this is looking really nice. Beautiful. Nicely done. Second time. Absolutely perfect. It's using a PMDG model, so it's not actually rendering any animations or anything. Got the big old checkerboards and the countdown markers there too. And as he's vacating, we'll just pull over towards all of this. Not really much to see. Signature aviation fixed base area with the FBO look, with a couple of private jet statics. Same over there, in fact. Heliponto, Bus Panoramico. I'm great at pronouncing everything. Shelter. So from a distance it looks okay, but when you get a little bit closer, that should be a bit higher quality really. That looks a bit crappy. And that's a theme that I've noticed a lot with Flight 2 sceneries. From a distance the logos of things look really nice, but when you get a little bit closer they become big pixelated mess, which is a bit of a shame. Little things like that can make such an impact on a scenery when you're kind of exploring it. And last for today, the tower. Your turn, Nick. Epic. It's a very basic scenery. No interior in the tower. Although, dare I say, more interior than there was in Winnipeg. because there's glass, so you can just plonk yourself in and have a little look-see. There goes the Southwest. Look at the tarmac textures though, they're fantastic here. All of that patchwork quilt tarmac effect, really cool. Southwest 737-600s on the rotates. Bombing away. Very nice. Right, there we go, folks. A massive thank you to all of you for flying along, watching wherever you are in the world, and our channel members, bronze, silver and gold frequent flyers, for joining us today on this journey in our brand new Osprey holidays. Boeing 787-9 for Microsoft Flight Simulator with the Horizon Simulations add-on stuff. Big thank you to our air traffic controllers as well at the beginning of the journey, and the developers, of course. Thank you to them for providing us with copies of the scenery to have a little look at today and enjoy. Both actually really quite nice, though basic in its sense, but for their price point, I think for what you get and the environment around the apron area, which is where it is more important, the sceneries both pop and do a really good job of replicating their real world counterparts. I've got my Mod 1 test tomorrow for my motorcycle training, so wish me all the best for that, and I'll see you guys on Thursday for probably some ATR hops around Sunny Island. But in the meantime, as always, wherever you are in the world, enjoy the rest of the day, or the rest of the night, and I will see you soon. Hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.